All right, everybody, Jonah here with you. I got Alec Nava coming in here right now alongside with Ian Genji. We'll get you set here for the lineups. Again, there's going to be a little bit of adjustments there as far as even for me from what we just got there from Jackie Redmond. But for Team Sweden, head coach by Sam Hallam, it sounds like this. Jesper Bratt, no Mika Zibanejad. He is out. Willie Nylander, Adrian Kempe, Joel Eriksson, Lucas Raymond, Filip Forsberg, Elias Pettersson, Leo Carlsson, Gustav, Nyquist, Elias, Lindholm, Rickard, Rakell is out as well. Viktor, Arvidsson will step in at some point. And then for the defense, it'll be Victor Hedman, Jonas Brodin, Gustav Forsling, Erik Carlsson, Rasmus Dahlin, Rasmus Andersson, Mattias Ekholm will be out. For Sweden, should be Linus Ullmark in goals. Samuel Ersson, I think, is going to also be the backup. They might go ahead and take out Filip Gustafsson, but these are just like happening right now as we go across. And then we'll look at it on the other side for the United States. They just mentioned that Austin Matthews not going to play tonight. So that line of Getzel and Hughes will be shuffled up a little bit. Chris Kreider is going to get his first start alongside with Eichel and Brady Tkachuk. It'll be JT Miller, Dylan Larkin, Matt Boldy on the third line with Brock Nelson, Vincent Trocheck, Kyle Connor. Jacob Slave and Brock Faber on the back end defense with Noah Hannafin, Adam Fox, Zach Werenski, and Jake Sanderson. The U.S. will go with extra D, no Charlie McAvoy as the scratch, no injuries there, but the United States will use an extra defenseman for the skating side, and Jake Ottinger is going to get his first start. Jeremy Swayman will back him up. Connor Hellebuyck is going to get some rest. Alec, we now know who the United States are going to play on Thursday. That is Canada, but Canada did not make it easy on themselves as Finland almost stormed all the way back until Sidney Crosby got the empty netter.
We do have the idea the rematch is on Thursday, so this is going to be a very interesting rematch. You know how Canada, they started out fast with the 4-0 lead, that they had 3 goals in the first period as well. The top players showed up at their very best. You know, Connor McDavid, Steve McKinnon, and then Sidney Crosby at the end. Crosby is the leading point getter for this entire tournament, and he's 37 years old. He has 5 points in this tournament. But we wonder when McDavid and McKinnon are going to get on the board. They did so in Canada. McDavid, at the very least, he did so in Canada's loss to the USA. And McDavid opened his scoring once again for Canada. And McKinnon, you can make an argument that he right now is Canada's biggest X factor. McDavid, of course, he is the best player in the world, but McKinnon, we can say he could be the X factor alongside Crosby. USA, of course, is excited to get this rematch, but even though this game doesn't have any meaning of substance to them, they're not treating it as such. This is still your country you're playing for. This is still national pride on the line, and they're going to bring their A game in advance of the championship.
I was thinking the same thing, Alec, going into it. I know that's hyperbolic for some to say again, as Alec mentioned, that the stats are on the table. They've already advanced to Thursday, but this is 4 nations face-off. You already got 2 wins against 2 other nations here. All you got to do is get against Sweden and rematch against Canada and run the table. I think that's exactly what the United States wants to do. They want to show their dominance, and throughout this tournament. And Sweden, I mean, they had a couple of tough luck games. Look, we covered that first one between Canada and Sweden. And again, Canada able to fight back, and then Crosby set up the OT winner for Mitch Marner. And then Sweden was ahead until Finland came back and kind of shoved some business. But it's still 2 points for them. Sweden is very capable to be able to win this game, and they've shown up pretty well in this tournament, all things considered, even though they got bit a couple times at the end. But this should be a lot of fun, and I'm also excited, Alec, to go ahead and say that Jake Ottinger is going to go ahead and get the start in that tonight, because I think he's been really, really good alongside with the Dallas Stars ever since he's been here. Connor Hellebuyck, good on him, be able to get some rest, but we get to see what Otter gets to do tonight.
Yeah, we will. We can get him a chance to get some minutes just before the championship game. If Hellebuyck doesn't do well in the championship, you would think that Ottinger will be good enough to back him up. He's no slouch. Ottinger is just right behind Hellebuyck in total wins in the NHL season.
Yeah, it's a very good powerhouse goaltending tandem for the United States. So, I mean, it makes sense to be able to draw that in there. I do wonder, when I looked at a little bit of the Swedish box score, for Finland and Canada, when I looked at that, they started Kevin Lankinen today. It was only 9 out of 13. It was 4-0 after 2 periods. Nathan McKinnon with his third of the tournament. And then Essa Lindell and then Granlund had a couple of runs. in the span of 23 seconds at 18:20 and 18:43 to make it a one-goal game. Kind of wonder, I'm just saying this out loud, why they didn't just go with Jussi Saros.
That is the interesting part. We're not going with Jussi Saros. Saros was okay for what he brought, but Lehkonen statistically had a better season than Saros. But if you want to get your best goalie in a tournament, logically you go with Saros. Even though Finland got blown out by the USA, that loss was not on him.
No.
I think Finland made the adjustment on who had the statistically better season, if that's what I'm going with. But most of the time you go with Saros.
That's what I would think, even though the numbers, again, we talked about a little bit in the open as far as last time we worked together, that wasn't the season the Nashville wanted, but we know what Jussi Saros could be. But again, he's able to do this shovel duty, but it's all over for Finland here. Their profile and Dylan Larkin, Brady Tkachuk, I imagine at least this time the United States anthem is not going to get booed in Boston. It did get booed in Boston today earlier in the sense for the Canadian anthem, so as much as I would like to say, and I'm going to say this as forthright as I can and honest, as much as I would not like to see any anthems get booed, I don't think that's going to be the case on Thursday. I think we're going to have some festivities, but at least tonight, whether you consider it a victory lap or not, I'm excited, Alec, to watch Sweden again. I do think this is a confident group. I do see Lucas Raymond now move up in the second line. I'll be interested to see if Dylan Larkin tries to take a run at his teammate if they happen to be out on the ice. I'm hoping not so much, but you never know. You're playing on opposite sides of the sweater.
Yeah, he's on opposite sides of the sweater ahead of this game. Lucas Raymond, I mean, it's a friendly banter between them, I would imagine. And between USA and Canada, of course, this is going to be a fun rematch to watch. And I can only wonder if the outcome of this game would have been different if Cale Makar was healthy. I imagine that it would be tighter, but USA still wins that. But I think Canada has an extra motivation heading into Thursday with that loss in the back of their minds.
So let me ask you, as we're going through the anthems right now between Sweden and the United States, first 9 seconds was turbocharged for you, was it not, on that Saturday side? I mean, what were you thinking as your mind was getting blown in real time?
We're just watching ours and seeing the chaos unfolding at Montreal. Who could have thought there were going to be 3 fights to begin the game in the first 9 seconds? The both Tkachuk brothers involved. I just hate that, just hate how this is being escalated for reasons out of our control.
Right, yes.
On the outside, and I just wish these teams can all have fun out there onto the ice and have the players take onto their own matters. Don't have any outside noise be a distraction.
No, you can. And at least I can say this for what happened on the ice. I will say it's probably a blessing in disguise for Canada to get that all out of the way on Saturday. And what I mean by that is I think all the extra juice as far as the physicality for fights, I think that's going to dissipate. I don't think we're going to see much of that on Thursday or as much. It's going to be down to brass tacks. And you're exactly right. We talked about it before with Shea Theodore, correct, with the hand injury, and that wasn't very good. Then you lose Cale Makar. It could have been a lot different. The United States, again, you called it in the third. You can tell me what you think about it, but that was all effort on defense for the United States. More than happy to shovel the puck down the ice and try to hold Canada off. They did, but if they had somebody like Cale Makar have to think in those final 5-6 minutes, they probably could have tied it up.
They probably could have. It had not been for that stout defense. And I got to take this moment to give a special shout out to Jacob Slavin. His profiling, he's one of the more underrated defensemen in the entire NHL.
Yeah.
And now the entire country is getting to show what he is worth. Elite defensive play.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. You got a chance to watch him a lot, Carolina, following that stuff in Pittsburgh and Carolina as you do. And Jacob Slavin, I would say this, Alec, a lot more physical attack in his game. You already knew the elite positioning in the stick check, but when it comes down to have to throw the body out there, he can definitely do it. I just think Jacob Slavin's so good during the regular season, it's probably best to pace yourself, but at least in this tournament, get a chance to go all out and see what he can do. He's been phenomenal.
He has been. So as we get to you, Ian, what are your thoughts heading into this game?
Well, I mean, the U.S. is already in the championship game. I mean, They don't necessarily need. They don't. By all accounts, the logical move would be not to go all out during this game and conserve your energy for Canada. But let's be real. All these players are about to. They're going to be hitting. They're going to be checking. They're going to be giving it their all. So you know what, guys, go out there and have fun. Go out there, have fun, and let the serious mindset be for Canada on Thursday.
So, Alec, you could take this away if you want to. We have a development already. I didn't expect this. Samuel Ersson's going to get the start for Sweden.
Yeah, that was really shocking to me, knowing that Ersson is getting the start. We thought for sure it was going to be Olmark.
Who does Ersson play for? Remind me again?
He still plays for the Philadelphia Flyers.
And it's odd.
So we can have some fun with this, Alec. You can take it away if you want to, or I can lead off. How do you want to get this going?
I mean, I've had a lot of the action from the last 2 days. Hey, how about you lead it off this time around?
Okay, so I'll get things started, and Alec and I will switch. You know, Alec has been very busy as far as everything else. He had Daytona. He had so many crashes. Honestly, I almost jumped in on the cast at the end because in the final 5 laps, I thought somebody would have seriously got hurt when I seen the car go in the air for about 15 seconds.
Oh, glad that Ryan Priest is okay.
Yes.
That was brutal of a crash.
This will go and around the inboards now, and we are underway. Kind of wonder, at least for Samuel Ersson, you got to be thrilled for the young man, but his heart's got to be beating a mile a minute. There's Carlsson off the touch pass. Good back check defense there from Faber as this goes in around the inboards, and the big hits might already be starting. There's a slap shot right in toward it. Andre will make the save as the United States will try to press the other way. It's Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets driving. Rebound scores! And the United States 1925 in, and it's Chris Kreider's line.
Right on cue, especially with Kreider. He was sitting in the first 2 games for the USA. He was the healthy scratch in favor of Brock Nelson. There was a moment in which I seriously thought that Kreider was going to be in the starting lineup for Team USA. Now, but that was not going to be the case. But now that Matthew Tkachuk is sitting out, and with the absent Austin Matthews, USA needs someone to get the goal scoring right up for them. Immediately, it's Kreider, who has a knack for the net front as he jumps to the rebound and gets this onto the back of the net after Samuel Ersson made the initial stop. What else could Ersson do that time around?
No, Alec. I mean, that's like picking fruit right off the tree. As that was just a gigantic rebound. And you mentioned it with Kreider. He's just right there, finishes it off. He just draws into the lineup and scores immediately for the United States. So an auspicious start for Sweden. Chancing off the inboards now is good reverse hit for the U.S. And, you know, this crowd's really into it now in Boston. So we're already getting a little physicality. Again, Ian just talked about how it would go either way, and I agreed with him here, but you do get that layoff till Thursday, so I guess we're just going to go full throttle when you have the scratches where you do. Victor Hedman now will go ahead and push this one ahead as this is toward the right side red line and sent in. This be sent in off the backhand now, United States. We'll try to find it now off the stick left. The United States will try to get to the puck now. Dylan Larkin. He emerges with the steal. Larkin shoots. This one saved with Ersson with the stick. So it was good for him 21 as he gets a chance to get moved up into the lineup. He had the game-winning goal on Saturday, and nobody was happier than I. Or imagine all the other Red Wings fans, let alone U.S. As Adam Fox will have this in his own end. Take this one D to D. You mix that in between Noah Hannafin as well as Fox's pass. There's a bullet right to the left side dot, and the United States gets pinned in the corner there with Kyle Connor. He's moved all the way down to the fourth line so far, but I think that probably means I would think he would break out. You'd have to imagine in a game like this. 2 shots to 1. United States has the lead. Chris Kreider as this one gets slashed into the corner. Left side red line gets to pick it up now as Gustav Forsling will watch. Puck goes to him now as he continues to skate through the left side red line and send it in. And off the back check now quickly here for the United States. Try to push this one ahead with Zach Werenski. Good touch pass right through the seam as Sweden's just backing up here. Forsling now trying to get a stick on it. He does. And Sweden now trying to break out as this is knocked away. Good reverse hit for Brady Tkachuk as he takes out a couple of Swedish players. Bowling pins everywhere. And now United States have this in their own end. Brady Tkachuk has been a battering ram. Again, Matthew should be able to be available for Thursday. They're just setting him out now as this gets iced. But Brady Tkachuk was a hammer there, Alec.
Oh, yeah, he was hammering people left and right, and especially along the penalty box stores. Brady Tkachuk is one big madman putting a huge hit near those boards. Two players being the full wrath of him.
And Dylan Larkin just hit the crossbar, and then Brady Tkachuk just plays cleanup crew. My goodness, I mean, you could do it all. You got that type of size. You could fight. He had one of those in there alongside Matthew. Again, I imagine you got the three of us in here now between myself, Alec, and Ian Genji. If you put us on a group text with the same line, you tell us that we're going to fight, we're definitely going to throw some fists. And that's what happened in the group chat on Saturday. My goodness. As this is picked up now across the boards. Sweden will finish a play. Here's a breakout pass attempt right up the middle. And this one was knocked away. As United States now slaving in favor. We'll send this one crisscross. Still 2-1s. Brady Tkachuk's got as many hits as United States got shots. They're on the backhand now. As this gets knocked away, good pass from Getzel. We'll loop around now for Matt Boldy. And the United States can't hold the blue line. They're in a little bit of change anyway. So this pass will be touched from Boldy back to Faber. And the United States can just do what they want to do here as they get set for the breakout left to right. Again, they're in the dark blue jerseys with the red and white striping. Sweden's got the yellow jerseys at the top with the blue pants. As this is pull ball pin, United States will lose it for a moment. This will be picked up across the Four Nations logo for Sweden and then taken away from Pettersson. Fox, and off the left, it's Boldy on the back skate. Good feet ahead as United States can enter on a 3-on-3 long shot. This one will be saved by Ersson as a stick got knocked out of the hand of Rasmus Andersson, Calgary Flames. And this will be flipped in across the left side red line as Pettersson takes a hit near the bench. He can already take his change. United States needs some reinforcements here as Boldy still try to do some work. He'll just shovel in the corner away from Forsling. The U.S. forced the steal. This is toward the right side boards. Off the chop a couple times. Picked up now Werenski on his backhand. Drive to the net. Save. Ersson in close. That's a good one.
Nice little effort from Werenski to set that shot up as he drove from the right point. Gustav Forsberg in history had the one-timer stopped in front, but a good poke check setting up the rush opportunity for USA. A little drive and a little forehand for Werenski, and Kreider knocked it out the rebound. Werenski also got that one almost on a solo effort. Backhand, around, and then a forehand.
I don't want to put you on the spot here, Alec, but just give me your honest thoughts, as I know as the play's underway. But this is the best I've seen Zach Werenski ever look, and is it just a matter of health? Because his confidence seems sky high.
The extra motivation, and right there with Zach Werenski as well, with the season that Columbus has had. When a tragedy occurs in the offseason, I know this is getting onto matters outside of our control. When a tragedy occurs in the offseason, it can either break a team or galvanize a team. Safe to say it's galvanized the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, it has. It's galvanized pretty much a lot of their play as well as they're still hanging in there. Again, the NHL season is going to resume on Saturday. Our Four Nations will be alongside Alec and Ian, and I'm sure the whole crew. Going to try to get Cooper in on a trio cast for Thursday if we can get that. Depending on his availability, but Alec and I will be here for Thursday, at least for USA Canada. Just one more warm-up here because I want to try to soak in as much of this as I can as Joel Eriksson will take on Jack Eichel in the D zone. Again, I like that mix in the face-off dot between the Four Nations and the logos. That's a pretty good touch. As this is now a defensive zone pass. Brady Tkachuk gets double teamed in amongst the boards. He still is strong enough to emerge with it and send it across the blue line. But this will bounce back right to the U.S. 14:50 left to go in the first. This will be shoveled. Stays on side. Tkachuk on his backhand falling down. And he did hit the side of his helmet. He should be all right. He was trying to almost do a reverse Ovi.
Yeah, a little bit of fancy moves, and you wonder how good he's going to be. I imagine he's going to be all right afterwards. A little dipsy-do as he went and falling down. Remember, Ovechkin scored from the other side of the ice He's trying. So Brady's going to score from the right, ball. Ovechkin score from the left. Ooh, that would have been fancy to see.
Yeah, it would. And again, for Brady Tkachuk, again, our apologies to the post and the nets because Brady Tkachuk, I'm sure as big as he is, he didn't even feel it. I mean that in the best way possible. He is that battering ram. Boldy now toward the right side. We'll send this across the wall. Werenski back out there. Shot traffic out in front. And a great save for Ersson with the stick as Jesper Bratt will lift this one ahead. This is a pass that goes into the crowd as he was trying to find Nylander.
I wonder how Ersson got that one on the outstretched right pad. That reflex too. And those strong reflexes from Sam Ersson and a quick reactionary save with the puck on the net front.
Pretty good start there for Sam Ersson because, again, as you mentioned, Brock Nelson right there. Chris Kreider was there. Again, there was a rebound. That's the only thing you can say so far for Ersson that they would want to try to get cleaned up. But that's just me spitballing here as this goes back in the neutral for Sweden. It's Forsling's pass. They pushed ahead. And now United States gets to steal on their own end. Shots are 5-2 off the touch. This will get picked off. And now this will be an opportunity for Bratt for the backhand. This will be stick this side by Ottinger into the corner. And there's a rolling puck now for Sweden to get a chance to start again. So keep in mind, Canada was up 4-0 in the second period against Finland. Looked like that game was completely over until Mikkel Granlund and a couple runs of goals made it 4-3 within a span of a minute 20. Sidney Crosby got the insurance with the empty netter, but never know what this game might bring. Yes, the United States have already advanced, but Sweden's still playing for pride, as Alec mentioned. This is a really good roster. Now on the backhand side, this will be shoveled in ahead toward the right side boards now as this is recollected here for Sweden. A couple of times. Rasmus Andersson tried to get this one out. There's a good chase for Kyle Connor here for a moment. This will be a spin and turn now for the Swedish defense. Get a chance to start again from Dahlin. Long shot. This one will go just wide of Ottinger as this will be knocked away. Victor Hedman will pick it up toward the left side. He'll shovel it toward Ottinger. Another big rebound. This will not stay in as Brodin will get a chance to shovel this from D to D. And Hedman's pass in off the boards will be contested for a moment. And Sweden should have a good opportunity to shoot as this was blasted way wide by Arvidsson. Now to the left side red line as it's 12:50 left to go in the first. John here with you. Alongside Alec Nava and I. This is USA and Sweden. As this will be knocked away, Brock Nelson gets it from Eriksson. Take this one across, and this will be pinned in off the boards. Recollected near the players' bench as the United States able to shovel it ahead. The forwards can get changed here from Mike Sullivan's squad. They've been so excellent as far as their positioning, everything else when they needed to be. This one bounces up in the air a few times, playing a little hopscotch, and this will fall to Ersson. That was an odd sequence, but he does find it.
Rather odd, but nonetheless, that only goal from that rebound from Chris Kreider. And Ersson did have himself a nice share of saves early in this game. And he's keeping Sweden alive here. Good for him that he is getting some work here in the Four Nations face-off just before he resumes action with the Philadelphia Flyers. He's holding his own over there.
Yeah, I would say so, Alec, because a couple of those rebounds, I mean, they should have been 2 goals really for the United States, if not for his effort to at least stop one of those. Shots are 6-3, hits are 5-1, face-offs 4-3, all in favor of USA at the moment.
So far, so good. USA getting the start that they wanted and they needed. And even though round robin's not over, expect more crashing and banging between these two of them. Just don't turn around anyone.
No, you're going to get the same type of effort all the way across the board. I think the United States did a good job of at least, I think, giving Connor Hellebuyck the day off, making some of those adjustments there as well. I mean, Charlie McAvoy probably had to spend some extra time recovering because I saw that hit against Connor McDavid. Boy, oh boy, did he get pasted against the left side boards.
He did. And those were 2 vicious hits for Brady Tkachuk.
So, I mean, that was absolutely mind-blowing from what we saw. 35 seconds into this one, Kreider with his first in the first game for Werenski and Eichel. Werenski already has 5 points, Eichel 4 assists as well in the mix. And Sam Ersson, 5 of 6. Jake Ottinger, 3 of 3. Again, you got Brock Faber moved up on the top line. Jake Sanderson draws into the first time. You have Chris Kreider drawn in for the first time, and other players moved around. And then the mix for the defenseman, Rasmus Andersson, is going to be able to get some burn as they've adjusted lines there. And then you're going to see a little bit more of Leo Carlsson, who we haven't seen as much. Viktor Arvidsson will get a chance to draw in a little bit. Don't know how much time he'll get, but these lineups will be moved around as we get into this final game of the round robin, and we'll see what happens here the rest of the way for Sweden as we get another look at Keith Tkachuk. And that previous story that we did just before Alec took over the Saturday broadcast said the last player to score a hat trick in international competition was Keith Tkachuk. In the game before that, it was Brady and Matthew with 2 goals apiece. So pretty good stuff.
Yeah, not to mention about the 13 hits combined. If we're villain between the Tkachuk, I mean the 13 shots combined between the Tkachuk brothers, and they have 11 shots. 11 hits combined between them.
+2 on that side as well. I mean, they were all over it. Again, they've been a big piece of it. This one gets flipped out of play. Are we going to have a penalty is my question. I do see the sky cam on Kyle Connor as we get a stoppage at 12:03.
Yeah, I believe this was not deflected out by any player as it was shot out. Kyle Connor saw that, and they're going to point it at Elias Lindholm, who was the player that flipped it out onto the ground and over the glass. And it looked like Connor, he was going down before and Brady Tkachuk as he was driving to the net. I don't know if there was a stick that caught his skate or if he just fell down on his own. But I'm more likely to believe that he just fell down on his own.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. You were stuck in there a little bit between Victor Hedman, but I don't think that's what caused it either. As this one goes to the right side, touch pass. Oh, what a stop there as Eichel was open point blank near the right dot. Eichel sends it toward the net. Another rebound. Ersson, this is funneled right next to him by Hedman. He's trying to get it out, and he finally does. Sam Ersson with a couple of point blank saves right there. And I'm surprised this game is still 1-0 considering the amount of chances that have been dangerous. Here's a drop pass now as Eichel trying to find the entry to the left side corner and pull back up my Swedish roster. As this one goes to the left side red line, United States, and across the wall, Werenski trying to wait to be wide open, but the pass gets cleared all the way down to Jake Ottinger. Ottinger now will just brush to the right side corner. So U.S. power play has been pretty good at 40%. The penalty kill for Sweden, not so much. Again, it's just a short term, but 33%. As this one will be touched all the way to the right side for Kreider, who's got the opening goal in this game. Getzel, who's been one of the best players in the United States. Werenski now, left side down. Here's a shot that gets flubbed, and this will be sent back down in off the clear as Sweden's just covering the house. They wanted to make sure nothing was going to happen with Ersson. So United States gets their second line out. Adam Fox will play this off the drop pass. Again, no Austin Matthews today, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for Saturday. As we get a little sky cam, Boldy now into the corner. He loops in behind the net toward the right side boards, lost the puck, and this will be easy for Sweden to clear back down the ice as the shots sit at 8-3. We're almost halfway through this first. Pick it up on the forehand now. It is Adam Fox, and off the drop a couple times there. This will be chopped away, and Ekholm will try to send this one back down the ice. This is toward the right side boards for Kyle Connor. Drop there for Fox. Connor to the right side emergers. Short side red line. Ekholm taken down. That is going to be a penalty against the U.S. A little bit of a cross check, and Sweden's going to go to the power play.
Yeah, I know USA didn't score on that man advantage, but with the lack of the goals there did not underline how effective they were on that man advantage. They got pucks onto the net. They were at the net front, whacking at the puck and testing Sam Ersson time and time again. Even though USA didn't score, it was a really good power play for them against Sweden.
Yeah, they were able to move it around and get a lot of chances. A couple of chances at the net that Sweden was fortunate able to clear. It looks like Matt Boldy is going to sit in the sin bin for at least 2 minutes. It's what the U.S. hopes as he gets busted for a cross check.
So, yesterday was very, very up and down. I mean, it was just waiting time and time. I mean, I actually split my stream onto 2 parts because of the heavy rain over at Daytona. Part 1 and then in the part 2. But the crashes at the end of this race don't need to be overshadowed should not overshadow the fact that we had 3 push drivers in several instances fighting for the lead in stage 2, and then 3 other drivers fighting for the lead in stage 3. I thought for sure it was going to be a Penske win, but no, it wasn't. The 24 car, William Byron, he's a back-to-back Daytona 500 winner, and that has to feel good for the guy driving in Jeff Gordon's iconic car.
Again, I saw a little bit of that ending there alongside with your profile over the last maybe 15, 20 laps or so. You're a heck of a trooper there as far as all the delays and everything else. You had a very long night, so if I can try to alleviate any of that stuff so you don't have to work too hard today, that's fine, because I'm not going to be back on the air till Thursday, so feel free to lean on me if you have to. But, I mean, that was an exciting race. You just had to wait a while.
Yeah, and that rain delay caused this to be, in contrast to last year when it was the fastest Daytona 500 stages era, this year is the slowest Daytona 500 stages era. An average speed of 129.159 miles an hour, but that is mostly because of the rain, the hefty rain delay that was. I had to wait like 3.5 hours for the action.
Man, oh man, I don't envy you there, because I mean, you think about that, it takes less than 3 hours to broadcast this game, so you could have done 2 games and then still done the Daytona. So you had a long night, my friend.
Yeah, it really was. And in between, I made sure to get some dinner, so there's that.
Good. So you're able to get all the priorities set in order. I didn't realize that Sam Hallam's only 45 years old, as he was from Sweden. He's part of that staff as the head coach here. And we're going to see now that the United States gets a chance to kill a penalty. Willie Nylander on the off wing as he's being profiled. Eriksson will be a good opportunity for him to get this drop to tie up, but he can't do it, as the United States will shovel this one down the ice. And Sweden will have to start their power play from their own end. Right now, it's Raymond, Bratt, Lindholm, Nylander, and Carlsson. As this will be recollected now for Jesper. Jesper will find the cross pass and across the seam, and the United States easily send this one down the ice. I do think, at least in this game, depending on what you see, you already saw it on Saturday with Dylan Larkin, but with Lucas Raymond, who's already had a ton of assists, Larkin had a GWG and a couple points. I think people not going to be sleeping as much on the Red Wings as far as those two guys, but again, they don't have the team depth that a lot of other ones do. As this one toward the right side, Carlson's pass. This will be shoveled. Good save for Ottinger toward the left pad as the U.S. try to get a diving play to get this one out. A little extra effort. This is going to work out for the Stars and Stripes. That's some extra effort as this is picked up now for back end for Nelson. So 1 minute left to go. And Sweden's power play in the United States will get the clear across center ice, as Sam Ersson will leave it for Victor Hedman. Try to take it right to left. Shots are 8-4. There's a drop there. Pettersson now try to join in off the rush. Pass hits Ottinger. He'll just hold on to it.
It was more of a shot pass towards the front of the net last time around. William Nylander looked for Jesper Bratt down low. He wanted to get a little tight shot to fit that small window at the right side of the net. He turned around and fired it. Did not find much room.
No, there wasn't. And Ottinger able to cut that one off and close toward the right side down. You got Elias Pettersson now trying to get this one off the tie-up, and the United States emerge again. They can't clear it, though. Rasmus Dahlin walks in, shoots. That got tipped. And then up and out of play. That was Forsberg. They got a piece of it as he got knocked down.
All the open ice to the left side of the field with Dahlin firing for the left circle. Forsberg wanted to redirect this up front to get this towards the wide open space at the right side of the net. You cover the area that Ottinger is not covering. Forsberg had the right thing in mind. I think it also caught Ottinger's left skate to have that deflected out.
You're exactly right. It doesn't touch his left skate. I think that deflects in the wide open side of the mesh to the right, and we get another whistle here. I think we'll just redo the draw. 36 seconds left to go in the Swedish power play, but absolutely right on the doorstep. If it doesn't go off Ottinger's skate there, that's easily 1-1. That was good positioning for Forsberg, and Dahlin just walked right in the left dot and shot the puck. This is another D-zone win for the United States, 3 in a row on Sweden's power play. But this one is kept in at the blue line as it bounced off Victor Hedman's skate. Little bowling ball here as Eichel will try to spin and turn. Dahlin gets this across the wall. High slot now. Hedman shoots. This one is tipped off the mark Now back in behind the mesh of Ottinger as the power play is down to 10 seconds. Battle for the puck. United States able to emerge with it. Eichel, a little extra pass, and this one will be slowed down by Ersson behind the net. So Sweden's power play is going to come to an end. Victor Hedman just falls on his own, and the forwards are taking a change nonetheless, so that'll just get a chance to start their breakout. As this is Dahlin's chance. Way in off the glass. Bounced off of Werenski's stick, and now Getzel will go ahead and take a knuckle puck back into the defensive end that Sweden will pick up. Here for Rasmus Dahlin. One more touch pass to Nylander. A little inside-out move. Takes the stick out of the hands of Jake Getzel as this one's put in the corner for Adam Fox. Fox now quickly and along the inboards. As this will be recollected off the chip. In the United States, find a clean zone entry into the right side wall. In the mix was Zach Werenski. Rasmus Andersson able to brush it away for a moment here for Jesper Bratt. Now this will be knocked away. Dylan Larkin able to get the steal. A little dipsy doodle. Has to circle back into his own end. Now pick it up on his forehand. Still working on the backhand. Gets around one man. And then clears it down the ice for the U.S. as we got 7 minutes left to go in the first. John Under with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji. This is USA Sweden. Again, the first goal, Chris Kreider. It's less inside the first minute. USA Canada will be on the air a little bit after 8:10 Eastern. As might get a trio cast for that one. We'll see what we get. Joel Eriksson shovel this one down. This will be gloved out of the air by the U.S., but it's still pretty busy. Back of me on the offensive end. A good stick chop there for Boldy as he gets a piece for a moment. Takes out one of the U.S. players behind the net, and Brock Faber. And it's a real battle for this puck right now. Arvidsson able to emerge for it. Shot toward Ottinger, and they score! Excellent effort there for Sweden. It's Gustav Nyquist, another former Red Wing.
Excellent effort to keep that into the zone. And Gustav Nyquist, the lucky recipient at the front of the net. He fired that at a wide open left side of the cage. Sweden with excellent effort right after that power play when they were going after the puck time and time. They did have to look to the power play, but here it was a shot towards the net that was deflected by Nyquist, and this just sweeps by Ottinger. He thought he had this, but he just fumbled the puck.
Alec, that's got to be the hardest working goal that I've seen in this tournament, is it not? I mean, they were battling for the puck for about 45 seconds, little hand-eye coordination out of the air, mixing things all the way across. We just got a camera shot of Brady Tkachuk working his way back to the U.S. bench. I hope that there's not any issues there because you're already missing Matthew. This is toward the right side now as we're underway, but I really like that goal from Sweden. They never stop working there. There's Trocheck. Now to the right side corner, slap shot opportunity. This one gets deflected and across the red line. Here's a spin and turn. Elias Lindholm able to get this one the other way and off the touch pass. We'll see what happens here for Ekholm. Ekholm shoots it. This one will get deflected up and on a playoff for Werenski.
So after that, it's Gustav Nyquist. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Joel Eriksson at the front. Didn't even touch the puck a single bit. Sweden, they worked hard to get this puck. They were holding on to it for 45 minutes and even passed through several American defenders and forwards who were swiping wildly after this puck. It was Nyquist who got the punch right in front of the initial shot, the right side, and he's the one rewarded for it. That's got to feel good for him.
Yeah, you get more of those goals like that, you think Sweden's going to be able to do a little bit more damage in this game. It's been a good one so far. Thankfully, every game that we've had a chance to cover, Alec, I know the one on the second night was a little bit toward the third period where the U.S. exploded, but you make no mistake about it, Finland played an excellent 40 minutes against them, and it looks like Sweden and Sam Ersson, among everybody else's game for this tonight.
Yeah, they are. Sam Ersson playing the game of his life, as you mentioned.
So we'll take a look at anything else that we get across. Again, it's going to be a light night because the NBA was a little bit of the All-Star break. I will say this, from what I saw with Mac McClung, that was pretty interesting because when you think about that dunk over Blake Griffin's, it wasn't just the hood that was the easiest thing to jump over. Pretty much Mac McClung jumped over the entire car, and he's got 3 dunk contests in a row.
I mean, I know for the fact that he's mostly on the G League nowadays, but he can go through the air all the way up. But sadly for the NBA, this is the most exciting part of the All-Star game because You know how this could be? All-Star games, if you want to take it more seriously, if you want to look at something for what the NHL is doing, this is what the part that the NHL is doing best. The NBA is doing something good with the in-season tournament that they've implemented. Why not build on that if the NHL could do something similar, and vice versa, for the NBA following something that the NHL is doing Four Nations based on?
Yeah, you got to do something. I agree with you, Alec, as far as the worlds. If they can kind of mix that in with the countries and have an in-season tournament that way, as they've already done in the NBA, as you mentioned, if they can get other countries involved and try to do something in mid-season and get that sanctioned, that would be great, because I do think there's been a lot of microcosm changes. Some worked, some haven't. I don't know if I agree with all of Barkley's comments saying that today's generation of players messed everything up, but I do think there is maybe a 60-40 split on that. The NBA's got to fix some things.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
So Brady Tkachuk, he is back out there now, and that is not a sight for sore eyes, as this one's picked up here for Tkachuk. Long shot save, Ersson. As this one will get brushed into the corner. This bounces off of Eichel. Sweden's going to have some numbers here. Nylander able to get inside, split the middle, and this one is just off sides for Sweden, but man, oh man, they had the right idea off the rush.
Yeah, they were chasing after the puck, and they were using their speed to their max when they were chasing the puck. It was bouncing towards the offensive end. Not sure what the hold up is with Brady Tkachuk. He did leave the ice after he looked a little limp falling down, trying to shoot that puck.
Got to be thinking, I would have to imagine, Alec, from what we saw bashing into the post on the right side of his arm, that's got to be bothering him a little bit. Would you imagine?
Yeah, I would imagine that. So that's why the medical staff was checking up on him.
Fox, now we'll get this one in the corner again with Matthew and Brady again. Matthew played with a broken sternum during the side against Vegas the year before when Vegas won the cup. I mean, man, oh man, Brady had to help him put his shirt on just to be able to get some jersey time, get everything going. So the Tkachuk's, they play with a lot of physicality and vigor, and that will get you beat up sometimes, but those are the type of players that you need on this team to go ahead with the skill of Austin Matthews, although even in this game, I would say we're not going to see Matthews, but I think we're getting more of his defensive side that we're seeing in this tournament so far, and I like it. This pass gets knocked away from Getzel. He doesn't even find him as this one gets shoveled in the corner. It is 1-1, 4:35 left to go in the first. I wouldn't mind seeing Sweden get the 3 points here because I do think they're a good team, but I want to see United States still play in their structure. That's what I'm hopeful for. JT Miller, cross pass, good save, Ersson again. That right in the middle of the slot as this will fall back to Jacob Slavin. Slavin's pass will be off the touch, and now Getzel able to get this one. Getzel, nice in the corner off the spin and turn. See if this gets picked up by anybody off the touch. It is Werenski again, and right into the breadbasket of Ersson.
JT Miller and Zach Werenski being the two most dangerous players on that ship. Jake Getzel wanted to go right between the legs of two defenders.
Wow.
That's Sweden. That's both Ekholm and Adrian. He did a little nutmeg trying to find the open man onto the right side, but he was closed up at that right. Getzel did have the right idea. Nothing over at the left side, so you know what? I'll just pass right between the legs of two defenders.
I was going to say, degree of difficulty on that one, Alec, is a 10 out of 10. That was a thread of the needle, as this will be a face-off win now for the United States as it gets brushed from the right side corner. There'll be an opportunity now off a couple of stick lifts here for the U.S. and see if they can emerge with it as this gets pushed into the corner. Sent back down the ice. It's a 2-on-2. Good late arriving back check for United States to break it up, and Jake Ottinger able to stonewall Lucas Raymond right at the doorstep. My goodness. Picked up now for the U.S. and off the rush, Kyle Connor from Vinny Trocheck. Trocheck now gets it knocked away by Victor Hedman. Toward the right side boards, 3:30 left to go in the first. And shame on me, I look at the rosters for a moment, and Lucas Raymond almost scores by himself. As Raymond now gets the pass from Hedman. He wants to head up ice as Jonas Brodin has it. Full survey make the outstretched pass as this one gets knocked away. Icing will get waved off as a big hit emerging in the corner. Sweden now trying to pick this up off the back turn. It falls to Gustav Forsling, upside blue line. United States in behind the net of Ottinger now as players come together. Jesper Bratt with a reverse hit. Nylander, Ekholm on his forehand. Dangerous pass. Ottinger down. And this is toward the right side corner. United States will get this out as this one's flipped ahead. Chris Kreider. My goodness. Sweden was right there on the doorstep. Turned over, though. Jack Eichel able to keep it alive. As Faber, he just blows a tire. Sent the other way. And a step up. Good steal for the U.S. as this one's put in the left side corner now. Filip Forsberg will emerge toward the right side. He'll just look as this one's picked up now for the United States, pushing the corner. And now sent back around by Larkin. Here is an opportunity. Brock Nelson tries to pick it up. This is Larkin. And from the corner, Werenski. Take this one D to D. And this will be set right toward the Swedish defense as more players fall down. Ekholm was knocked down into the corner. And their D will take a change as well. Forsling and Ekholm will get off the ice. They're picked up now for Rasmus Dahlin. Try to find an entry right down the middle. Off the backhand. Shovel in the corner. Slap shot. This one will go wide toward the left side down. They picked up now for Sweden off the pool ball. This will get sent in here by Filip Forsberg. Werenski will close it off. And the United States will try to go left to right. Here's a drop pass. Right through the middle, Werenski. One more touch as United States try to seam it right up the gut. This is taken away by Rasmus Dahlin in the corner. Werenski able to get the steal. Slap shot save Ersson. Had Nelson with the screen out in front. This one picked up now one more time for the United States. Crisscross here. Hughes lets it go. And close the 5-hole does. Ersson will finally get some pushing and shoving in this one, but I don't think much is going to come of it.
We haven't had a chance to see Jake Sanderson a lot. It's the first game that he's played, but it is one of his most meaningful shifts that he's had. He fires a booming slap from the left circle. Sam Ersson still holding him strong, and Jack Hughes the shot right afterwards. Nice to see some pushing and shoving here in this game. And even for a game that doesn't have much implication, this one, love to see that spirit.
Yeah, you want to see that. I think you got a good first period again. We said that in between USA-Finland when we first covered on the second night. We saw that again. We saw that in the opener here between Canada on the first night. You saw all of it on Saturday. So this tournament has been everything that you really wanted. I think the NHL, I know Gary Bettman had said, you might make a little bit of money on this here and there as a full show clear goes right to Jake Ottinger. And the NHL will, as it's a sanctioned event. But I think as far as intrigue, experience, everything else that you want, I mean, this has been a 10 out of 10.
It is. I hope this stays around for 2027 when we get that year's debate about All-Star Game or even the Four Nations Space opportunity for that year, because next year we have the Winter Olympics. 2028, though, it may be the discussion of bringing the World Cup of Hockey maybe for the All-Star break. Who knows?
That's what I think. You're right, Alec. I think we're leaning there. I think in the next year, probably after the Olympics, we'll probably see one All-Star game, and then the NHL will flip their formats, and I think they have it the right way. Because I don't know if you can do this every year, but I still would like to see it be pretty often. I'll be honest with you. As Nylander, touch pass, turn around. Oh my goodness! What a snipe there for Sweden. Turnaround shot, and it's a 2-1 lead.
A snipe from the left circle, and it's Jesper Bratt, I believe. He was the one who got the touch pass from William Nylander. Of course, these guys are clutch performers. Even if people were asking about whether or not Nico Hischier's absence would impact the Devils, well, here's Jesper Bratt, who was turning around right around, doing a 90-degree turn and picking the top right corner and giving a Jake Ottinger and a number of defenders right in front of him. Bratt shot the end to get it out quickly and use those guys to his advantage right in front of Ottinger to his advantage so that Ottinger is caught by surprise, and he was.
That's absolutely disgusting. I mean, he turns around on a half spin on his back skate. He just wires that thing. I mean, the only place it could go is in the top right corner. He's going to do it all in one motion off the pass from Rasmus Dahlin. That is a sick goal. And Sweden now has a 2-1 lead as this one will be sent away. Now Hallam will go ahead and try to give chase as this one we push in the corner. Werenski try to get this rolling vulcanized rubber. Will be settled back down as the line of Gustav Forsling. We'll watch this one in the back end, and Kempe will try to take it to make a play away from Jake Sanderson as this one's brushing the corner. United States will take a long flip. This will be sent back down. Getzel almost being a speed merchant there as we go from the final 5 seconds. And it certainly looks like Jesper Bratt's goal is going to be the definitive one here in the first. That ends it. And United States down by 1. Chris Kreider gets the first goal, but a couple of sweet ones after that for Sweden with Gustav Nyquist in a hard-working shift at 13:39, a turnaround shot there for Jesper Bratt from Willie Nylander. It's 2-1 Sweden.
Almost with the same voice in which John Tavares scored the series clinching goal for Toronto in Game 6 2 years ago in the first round. But that's Jesper Bratt. That's got to be the highlight because that goal was nasty. Wow.
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal. I was able to call it the way that we did. I'm glad that we did, Alec, because that definitely deserves the praise. You can't really do much better than that. Jake Ottinger, 6 out of 8. Again, the numbers don't look as good, but that shot's unstoppable. Samuel Ersson, he deserves a big part of this story right now. 10 of 11. I know a couple of rebounds at the doorstep. One of them gets finished by Kreider, but he was really good in that first, and I'll be interested when you take over in the second what you think and what the United States will bring, because if Sweden can play like that, they might have enough to just take 3 points in this game.
You know, they've been searching for points in the standings because they felt like they missed out on several chances. Sweden, with their tight checking, allowed them to get back into the game against Canada. They got Canada to make some mental errors in the third period, in which it otherwise was going to bite them. Sweden, however, was off their game against Finland, noticeably. They said this themselves that they were noticeably off of their game, and that cost them a valuable 2 or 3 points. Here, they're not going down for a fight, and it's good for them to get back on their rhythm. They play their brand of hockey with tight checking and matching the style that USA has, even though USA is down Matthew Tkachuk and Austin Matthews, and Charlie McAvoy for that matter, and then that Connor Hellebuck. But still, this is a USA team that at full strength can bring all the pain to an opponent. And they can still bring pain here.
Yeah, they can. Again, this game is nowhere near over there. And again, it shouldn't come as a surprise. Ian profiled a little bit. We talked about it, Alec, as well, about what we might see in a game like this, considering things are wrapped up. But again, you are playing for pride. You're moving things around. And the lineups you do, if you're the coaching staff, I do believe this wholeheartedly, Alec. Everyone that you invite to Four Nations, you do want to at least give them some ice time.
Yeah, at the very least, so that you have everyone involved in the game. Canada did that with all their players, and yet you wish that they would have been at full strength if Shea Theodore didn't break his hand in the opener. And if people were asking about how their game against USA would have gone if they had Kel McCarr, we could also ask that same question if the U.S. had Quinn Hughes and Canada also had Shea Theodore.
Yeah, again, some of those losses there for Canada. We'll see how that changes on Thursday. I do think that they're going to get Kel McCarr back. I'm going to let Ian jump in a second out. But I feel like, at least for the United States, precautionary with Tkachuk, precautionary with Matthews and McAvoy. It seems like most teams will be to full strength by the time we get to Thursday, correct?
Yes.
That's what I imagine. Go ahead, Ian, if you got some prevailing thoughts.
Oh, no, I just wanted to check in real quick. So, after the Four Nations face-off, NHL gets back underway. Looks like a full slate of games. The big question one of the big questions we should ask ourselves is, who is in the best position right now outside the teams leading their division? Because, well, actually, no, we can look at some of those too, because there are some divisions with a few games can shift. It can shift the balance. For instance, John, I'm going to be picking on your Red Wings, but with a couple of wins and Tampa Bay hitting a skid, Detroit's a division leader.
It's interesting that you say that. Again, when you think about Tampa in the last game before this Four Nations break, Detroit kind of got housed a little bit by the Lightning at Little Caesars. But you're right about the skid portion, though, Ian, because Tampa had 4 games in hand of Detroit. And before that game, essentially, Alec, they were playing about 500 hockey, and that allowed the Red Wings to kind of catch up. Again, they're only 5 points out in the Atlantic for the 3rd seed, which is preposterous to think of where it would have been about a month and a half ago. But that is one of those teams to definitely pick on. And then I would say this for the New Jersey Devils. They have 57 games, played 68 points. I know they have a 6-point buffer out of anything else, but I do think the Devils want to try to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, so that also leads us to the question about teams that are going to be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. You immediately think about teams that are going to be buyers. New Jersey's going to be one of those for sure. Toronto's going to be another one of those. I would imagine your Red Wings are going to be buyers. While on the contrary, my Penguins, I think we're going to be sellers at the deadline. I'm looking at guys like Rickard, Rakell that could be on the move to other teams. Carlsson, Susie, I've been hearing, is up on that board. Brock Nelson, the biggest name out of everyone involved in the trade board, he's going to be in the trade bait board for everything involved. He's a free agent for next season, but he could be used in a contender.
Lou Lamoriello is one of those guys that likes to hold on to players like that, but you're absolutely right. I think that's probably the right call for the Islanders, as they have been surging up the standings just to try to get back into this race. The one thing I will say, I know I mentioned it with Ian, and I'm sure Alec's already aware of this, but even before Derek Lalonde got fired, the Red Wings went 3-0 against the Islanders. If that was not the case, they would already be in a playoff spot.
That's another important part, because that tiebreaker battle is important. It gives the Red Wings a boost whenever they are in a tiebreaker with the Islanders, that 3-0 sweep. And I would imagine now that they're up, and even though Tom McClellan has his questionable moments come playoff time, he's exactly what the Red Wings needed. A leader, someone who can galvanize the team in a rough time. And he's helped shore up the issues that the Red Wings have had. And now you wish we look at them as a buyer at come the trade deadline.
Yeah, I would say, Alec, I'll be cautiously optimistic and say soft buy. I think it could happen. I do think it's really important. I will say this for the Ottawa Senators. It's been far enough time, Alec. I think they really need to make the playoffs.
Yes. I mean, Ottawa, they've been under the water in recent years. Last season was pain personified, but this year, goaltending has been their biggest strength. Not just Linus Ullmark, but also when you look at the goaltending room, it's been an absolute strength for all of them. Levi Merolainen, an unsung hero for them, because he came out of nowhere and he's putting up Andrew Hammond-like numbers.
If he's doing that like the Hamburglar, then you know Ottawa's doing something right. Because, again, you're right. He came out of nowhere. Again, a couple years ago, I seen guys like Kevin Mandolese that had to come in there because they just didn't have anybody in goal. Now you're going to get Linus Ullmark back in there and healthy. I feel like they should be able to hold on. Again, Columbus has been a great story. We'll see if they can do it. The big games at the end of February will be against Detroit, and then when they go to Nationwide at Ohio Stadium. And then for the Boston Bruins, maybe we are seeing the downturn of what's going to happen, because I think, at least for me, Alec, they had to have expected more out of Elias Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov when they signed them.
Yeah, so bummer for them.
Alec, it's funny that you mentioned the Devils, because Trey came out with the video either today or yesterday, highlighting, his every year he does that haters guide at the All-Star break, or in this case, the Four Nations face-off. You mentioned the Devils. Their primary goaltender, Jacob Markstrom. Okay, that's a good one. Now, he's injured. Oh, well, who's their backup goaltender? Jake Allen. Okay, Devils, let's see what you're in. Wait. What do you mean Jake Allen has a .910 save percentage? This is the same. The same Jake Allen that was an enigma every night in St. Louis. The same Jake Allen that one night could look like a goalie god, and then the very next be so permeable he'd allow water and oil to mix. That Jake Allen?
Yeah, that Jake Allen. He's picking up the slack in New Jersey, and for what it's worth, he's no slouch as a backup goaltender. I think at this stage of his career, if you need to get in at the time of emergency, or if their starter is injured, then he's going to do the job. That was the case in Montreal when he is slated as the backup netminder behind Carey Price. And now he's slated as the backup netminder behind Jacob Markstrom. So he's in good hands.
I think so, and alongside that defense as well. And again, Ian, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Alongside we're talking about New Jersey, I do think they want to pick up some points in the standings. But right now it's going to be Jake Allen and Nico Dawes, I believe, for the foreseeable. And I think they'll be able to hold on enough, but they do need to get Jacob Markstrom back, who's been having a great year, although that defense is much better over there. I know this isn't a team that we talk about very often, but Alec, I just want to get your forethoughts. You don't have to give me everything enlightening because I'm not expecting to have all the answers, even for you. But for the Chicago Blackhawks, I know it's still a rebuild there alongside with Connor Bedard and all that, though. But I mean, were they supposed to still be this bad, or did they not have some of the other veteran leadership and all that kind of get to the forefront as much as they wanted yet?
They were not supposed to continue to be this bad. They made big moves in the offseason, trying to bolster up the roster to help out Bedard. Tyler Bertuzzi, that signing made sense. Teuvo Teravainen, that signing also made sense. But Chicago is not getting a lot of offense out of their guys. It's mostly been in the Bedard show night in and night out. He leads the team with 49 points in 55 games played. Yeah. That's good. Teuvo Teravainen is their second best point scorer at 40 points, 12 goals. Their leading scorer is Ryan Donato. Nobody saw that coming. And he's actually performing better than Bertuzzi himself on the season. Bertuzzi has 17 goals. He has 28 points because the assist numbers are down. Donato has 37 points, 19 goals. He's one of the more physically involved forwards that he got rewarded by getting moved up to the middle six. Bertuzzi has been pretty much a disappointment for him ever since he donned a Chicago sweater.
Well, I know I can tell you this firsthand already because as soon as you said the thing about Donato, kind of my eyes popped out of my head. But you know who doesn't like that is the Seattle Kraken. My goodness.
Yeah, that was a nice breakout for him. From fourth liner all the way to a middle sixer with Chicago. He's earned his spots.
So one last thing here, really, for me, until we get to the second part of it. Alec's going to take over here in the second, but we got Winnipeg, Dallas, and Minnesota in the Central. I do think that's probably already – those three teams are probably making it. I do think Colorado will find a way to usurp Minnesota. We'll have to set for WC 1 or 2. That's the kind of the way I see it. But it's going to be a really interesting down the stretch. And I know it hurts for Shea Theodore now for the Vegas Golden Knights as both Edmonton and Vegas have 72 points. Edmonton up because they got the game in hand. Flip a coin here, gentlemen. Edmonton, Vegas. Who takes the number 1 seed in the Pacific?
I think it's going to be Edmonton. But if these two meet in the playoffs, I think I'll give the edge to Vegas.
I'll take Vegas for the number 1. I think, see, here's the thing about Edmonton, right? Sure, they have a ungodly amount of firepower with them, and for the most part, their team defense is okay. But also remember, and this is not meant to be an insult on your team, John, but didn't the Red Wings, they didn't come back, but not only did they hang in, they won by, was it 3 goals against them, in which we were wondering if the Red Wings would be able to hang with them for most of the game.
It was a shootout.
Yeah, the last game that they played was a shootout. Red Wings had to score a ton of goals and ended up winning it that way. But the Red Wings have played Edmonton pretty well. And a lot of times when they have the Canadian road trips, they score a ton of goals against them. So your point's well taken. Alec and I have talked about that many times as well. With the defensive structure and the penalty kill, they were absolutely unreal last year. I mean, better than like historical numbers as far as their penalty kill, because we already know how good the power play was. I don't think that's ever sustainable, but I will say this alongside with you, Ian. I can go to pick the Golden Knights, but I still feel like this is going to come down to game 82. I think it's going to be a coin flip between both. And if the Vegas Golden Knights can't get Theodore back, they can't get so many other guys back there on defense, that's what's going to take them away from the number 1 seed. But I would say this, at least for Kings fans. I think they want the Edmonton Oilers to get the 1 seed. They don't want to play Edmonton anymore in the playoffs. It's been 3 years in a row now.
I mean, yeah, no. The Kings fans already had enough of seeing the Oilers in the playoffs because we already know what's going to be the outcome when these two meet again.
Right.
Another Oiler victory, no matter if it's in the first round or the second round. If the Kings manage to pull off an upset against Vegas, should they face them in the first round? I think the injury to Theodore, along with some more sustainability in terms of durability, if the issues with durability pop up for Vegas again, I think that's what's going to take them away from getting the top seed in the Pacific Division, and it will lead that 1 seed to the Oilers.
When I did say Vegas, I not completely forgotten, but it didn't occur to me how long Shea Theodore might be out. So that will, if he's out long term, that immediately gives the edge to Edmonton because Shea Theodore, he's not the entire defense, but he's the, what would you call it? He's the front man for the defensive core.
He's like
I'm pretty sure, isn't he the power play? He's not the power play quarterback, but he assists in that.
He is the main power play quarterback.
Oh, he is. So yeah, you lose your main power play quarterback right there. I don't know how good their power play is. I don't know all the stats on that, but if they're at the top, it has to be pretty good.
I know Alec will probably be looking up some of that, but I will say this for Theodore, Ian. I mean, he's a linchpin. So I know people don't look at it like that way because you have Stone or Eichel, but it's pretty much taking out somebody like Larkin, Raymond, Crosby, Malkin. You take somebody like Theodore out there who's a two-way kind of a beast. That does hurt the Golden Knights a lot.
Yeah, that does wonders for them. If you look at the other conference, you think about the Washington Capitals being the front runner for the Metro Division, and they should be. I think they will take care of business at the Metro. And the Atlantic, don't let the points fool you. I think it's going to be a coin flip like the Pacific between Florida and Toronto.
I know Ian was on board saying he doesn't believe in what Toronto does in the postseason, and we've had that discussion. Alec, you get set to take it away. I kind of have my same reservations. I think that's going to be down to the wire as well. This game is going to be pretty fun.
Of course it is. Alec Nava and I engage with you for the second period as Matthew Tkachuk is getting the interview with the NHL on TNT move up with Kenny Albert and Eddie Oshik. It doesn't feel good beginning the interview with Bratt, and now that Brian Boucher is over at the ice level as we have an icing. No, it's not an icing. I thought the arm was up for the official. Jacob Slavin can't keep it, but USA does a good job of whacking this one around. USA's moved from right to left. That's how the home team moves around between periods. First period, they go from left to right. Second period, right to left. That's how the Bruins do things at TD Garden. It's Matthew Tkachuk getting the interview with the NHL on TNT East side. Well, of course, many American media have labeled him as the best player on the Florida Panthers. I think you can make a coin flip between him and Alexander Barkov, and you would not be wrong on that side. Now, one timer in front, and that was missed from Jack Eichel. Eichel goes back over to the right, top of the right circle at the right point. So 4 catches being played around. Not exactly handball style, but Sweden gets us all the way out. And I did see a shirt before these two games started, and someone was writing, I just hope all 4 nations have fun. And I could not agree anymore with that. Around for Jack Hughes, far half force, and he missed a pass. As that went off a stick. Matthew Tkachuk in the booth now. If anyone's not listening along, well, you're missing out. Zach Werenski hopes to run streaking by. Good stick to cancel him out. Nice job from Sweden. As Dylan Larkin is trying to hold it. Joe Eriksson cancels him out. Brock Nelson pinned towards the wall. And even for our discussion about the photo shoots for Team USA, there's a lot of to talk about him looking like the team's dad on Team USA. At the far half court, deflected up. Still on the ice level with USA cozy inside, and they can't tie this game up. Sanders on the hold, and frauds, and it could not be tipped home by Nelson. At the right side, now it's center point. Top of the left circle, Sanders who fires this one wide, and it exits his zone. Matthews out tonight with a lower body injury. Austin Matthews out tonight. He's scratched with the lineup. You can imagine that USA is saving him for the championship game. And it will be a weird feeling that the American fans up here at Boston is going to cheer on him, knowing that the Bruins are the least rivals. One-timer Slavin, and it's held by Sam Ersson and covered up. Dylan Larkin wants to go and sit in Rasmus Anderson. No gloves are dropped, but Kyle Carter's getting ragdolled around. This is not over yet. Filip Forsberg wants a piece of Chris Kreider.
Well, my heart was in my throat for a moment there, Alec, when I saw Dylan Larkin might try to drop the gloves as Kachuk continues to get his camera shots. That was the first time things almost got festive.
Almost. He was so close to having the gloves dropped. The spirit is strong with these two teams.
I like this game so far. Again, I imagine what the stakes will be. And again, we talked about that a little bit, but I like Sweden's push that they've seen so far. It looks like the United States is keen to try to answer here quickly. I think we're going to have some fire in this one.
Oh, for sure we will. Give Sweden way to face up. Over the left circle, USA trying to hold the zone. This goes around the board, and the Free Crowns have it. On the far side, Forsberg, 2-on-2 as Lindholm gets dragged off from behind and got tussled onto the ice. Eichel to the far corner, and when the Americans gets bodied up, from the far outboards is Carlsson holding Forsberg's deep shot, and a save there by Auditor. Kreider holds, he'll not make the breakout pass, and he'll go backwards. This pass deflected up, intended for Kreider. Now Lee trying to go after the puck is whacked inside by Eichel. Both teams will make changes. EK65 starts up this rush. Carlsson will move this one up, and this is deflected inside by Arvidsson past the red line. Both teams fighting for the puck, and one of the Americans goes out as Hannafin, and a retaliatory shove on Nyquist from Hannafin. Still wants to squeeze with this. Bouncing puck towards the point, and is just held up by Eriksson. USA has it, and here's the breakout pass, and Jack Hughes missed it. I gotta wonder what the reaction will be from Quinn and Luke Hughes as this is carried out by Sweden onto the American zone. They get right by the rush. Great stick by the Americans. They shut that head down on the right circle. Carlsson missed it, and we have a penalty.
Yeah, I think Hannafin and Foxon off that back check, Alec had to do it. Again, we saw the previous sequence. You had a 2-on-0 essentially there for Getzel and Hughes. It doesn't hit. And a great drive to the net as it forces Viktor Arvidsson and the U.S. defense to take a penalty as Hannafin's going to go to the box.
Teammate of Jack Eichel in Vegas sitting down in the box for 2 minutes. He did get a stick up to the face of Viktor Arvidsson as Matthew Tkachuk is still getting that interview with the NHL on TNT. You wonder if they're going to perform an interview with Austin Matthews in the third period. You think, because this is an American-based company. Off this face-off, Brock Faber trying to clear. Canas is just held in by Sweden. On to Victor Hedman, standing 6'7", tallest defenseman on the Swedish roster. Elias Pettersson wanted to go back for Hedman, can't do it. And now Pettersson heads to the point, backhands it over to Hedman. He and Pettersson switch spots. Hedman at the top of the right circle. Hedman goes back onto the point, fires it down low onto the corner for Forsberg. Tight checking over the near half forwards, and Brock Nelson clears this one all the way down. And slowly towards his puck is Hedman. Build the second period. We're just nearly 5 minutes deep. Sweden on the power play. Alec Nava and I engage with you. For the far side, Sweden leading 2-1, and USA quiz this one down as Sweden can't make the entry. Sam Ersson dropping this back for Hedman one more time. Watching home. This pass, and this is a breakout pass intended for Forsberg that was intercepted by Sanderson. USA wanted to walk this back on down instead. Decided to kill some more time, dumping it in. From the near corner, Trocheck pounded several times, and Sweden will start to rush again to the left side. As there'll be one guy changing on for Sweden's power play. To the point, at the left side, this is fired onto the near corner. One of the guys blows a tire, and USA once again clears it. That's Eric Carlsson, who might have bought with a puck once. He receives it from Ersson. Carlsson skating up with the puck. Delivers it over to Willie Nylander. Nylander goes far side, and on the entry it is Lucas Raymond. Raymond carries at the far corner, watched by Faber. Goes to the left point, now out for Eric Carlsson. Carlsson to Nylander, right circle. Nylander goes to the near corner, and then back for Carlsson, who misplayed the pass. This goes back for Ersson, and what in the world is the Swedish power play? There was some miscues on this man advantage. We wonder what you want to see more of this power play. Soft dumping onto the near corner, and this power play expires with a bunch of nothing. Not a lot of shots, as they didn't test Jake Oettinger. He didn't even have to make a save in that power play. USA moves this one up. The Stars and Stripes trying to do a counterattack. Sweden pokes this one away. And up for center ice. It's deflected up, and this lands onto the USA zone. At the near corner, Faber shoved by Arvidsson. The Stars and Stripes moving this one up on a 2-on-2. Up the middle, this is chopped wide. And onto Ersson. Mike Sullivan and his crew, even though they know what's at stake on Thursday, no matter what happens here, they should take this one with pride. Up at the front! And here's Sweden. He didn't shoot it that time, it was Arvidsson. Controlling it on his forehand. The right circle in front, and Oettinger made the save. Directed over to the far corner. Sweden holds it. Rakell trying to make the 3-1 game. Long shot, and Arvidsson shot down. And Oettinger hugs the left post. Arvidsson roughed up.
Yeah, I'm surprised, at least on that side, Alec, for Sweden. They didn't try to go better to Arvidsson's defense. He got slammed down to the ice, as we'll get a little bit of a scrapage here and go to break.
Yeah, so awards being exchanged. In the meantime, I want to see some more pushback from Sweden on this power play. They didn't really test Oettinger that much on the man advantage. And it does me feel it's a bit of disappointment, knowing that there could have been more to be desired for Sam Hallam's squad.
Yeah, there was probably 2 or 3 passes, at least in the mix back there, Carlsson, that just were routine. Nobody was in front of him near the high slide. He just couldn't lay down on the puck. And Sweden had to go all the way back down, get it. Again, that burned about 35 seconds apiece, a couple times in off the clock, and Sweden couldn't do much.
And not a lot of action out there for Sweden. And that's for a division going down through the line between Florida and Toronto. Of course, it's a coin flip. Who do you think takes this Atlantic division?
I know it's the easy answer, but I'm still going with the Florida Panthers, Alec. I just think there's too much talent. I think Paul Maurice will get these guys ready to go for a second half. I think they already kind of went through their lull when they lost some of those games because you get those mid-season doldrums. I think Florida's going to be ready to go. I think they're going to take it.
I think so. I think so too. Florida's going to be able to take this one. And Toronto is going to set themselves in an interesting matchup in the first round. We talked about the long curse that they had that spanned 19 years. Well, that curse is over. I think this year, it really thinks that it gives me the impression that this is a different Toronto Maple Leaf squad. Not really the flashy headliner plays, but more of the nitty-gritty workhorse style of plays. I think this Maple Leaf team is going to be built for playoff hockey. Craig Berube is the right man for this job.
Yeah, I will second you with Berube on that side. I think he's done a lot to try to get that identity, although the same thing for Logan Thompson that I said for Washington. Anthony Stolarz has been excellent for the Leafs. I think he's going to be the starter and Wool's going to be the backup. That's going to have to be the Stolarz experience if the Toronto Maple Leafs want to get a deep run.
What have we thought about a 1A, 1B tandem between Stolarz and Wall? And from that perspective, you would not be wrong. They would be sharing the starts, and whoever has the hotter hand come playoff time, Woody Burge has the starting netminder for the Maple Leafs in the playoffs. That's how I see it as well.
I don't think you're wrong. Again, we just got the update from Jackie Redmond after Brady Tkachuk got slammed in the post. Alec, he's not coming back either.
Oh, they're down both Tkachuk brothers. There's the Team USA. So now the Americans are going to be playing with 10 forwards for the remainder of this game because of the use of no Austin Matthews. Back underway, the Stars and Stripes starting for their own zone. It is Miller wearing the jersey number 10, the jersey that he's been used to earlier in his career. Bratt canceled out by Adrian, coming back onto the ice after he took the penalty. Nylander shoves one of the Americans to the wall. Eric Carlsson from the right point, looking up front, deflected wide. Still in possession with Sweden, back over to Eric. Eric Carlsson fires this one long straight away. Doesn't go towards the net. Jack Hughes mishandled it. It's back with Sweden. Big glass from Hedman, and it's kicked out by Ottinger. Hanifin scoops this one up, and USA controls at center. Miller to Getzel. 1-2 goals against Canada. Shot, and it's stopped by Ersson. Good hold by Sanderson. There's another one. Blocked by Hedman. Hedman trying to get this one out for Sweden. Low stick onto the ice. That's Hedman. And for Sanderson. That's over the net. And it's out onto center ice. We go out to by the Stars and Stripes. Drop pass over to Werenski. Power play quarterback for Team USA. Werenski around 3 Swedish defenders. Able to hold this one, but it falls onto Dahlin. USA able to get it back. Turn this one around and onto the left point as it's Werenski. Werenski risks this one, and it goes wide, held by Hughes. Jack Hughes. This puck deflected, but it bounced onto Sanders to the backhand his deep. It's a battle at the far corner. USA emerges this one. In front, Harrison made the stop. Poked around on the rebound. Werenski holding it, but it's shut down at the near half boards. And Bodie, who doesn't have a stick, soccered this one around. He's trying to use some fancy footwork. Well, I don't know if he's trying to make a tryout for the U.S. men's national team. I do know that Christian Pulisic is going to be showcasing next year's World Cup. But I think Pulisic, at least, might be impressed with that fancy footwork from Bodie. That's got to be smooth. Here's Nelson, who gets dispossessed. This bounced around in front. One-timer! And it's shut down by Ersson. Oh, did he get shoved? That was the question. And there's no arm in the air. I thought that's going to be a penalty for goaltender interference. And Rasmus Dahlin rightfully upset at Brock Nelson because that's his goaltender that got shoved. No penalty arm in the air and no icing. Sent in from Elias Lindholm as it's collected at the far half forced by Faber. Brock Faber went for his hometown Minnesota Wild, played college hockey with the U of Minnesota with Jimmy Snuggerud, Matt Nyes, and Logan Cooley. That was an electric top line for the U of Minnesota. From the near half boards, USA moves this one up. Here is a one-on-one. Kyle Connor, backhand. Oh, that was a nifty forehand backhand move that he smoked it. And this is out to center. Sweden moves this one up. Lindholm back across it. It's Lindholm deep shot kicked down by Ottinger. And this is held inside by Hedman. Long shot. Save Ottinger. Held at the far half boards. Back over to the left point for Hedman. Excellent pressure by Sweden as they're getting right onto USA's bases. Filip Forsberg right on Hanifin. Deflected away by Faber. Forsberg shoving away one of the Americans. Getzel under siege by Hedman. Faber recollects it though. And onto the far half boards. Sweden not able to touch it up. But Forsberg could for a split second before Hanifin got it towards the wall. And now Kyle Connor trying to clear this one out. It's held by Sweden once more. Good zone time by the Swedes here. You know how sweet this can be. Forsberg to the left point. And Sweden trying to get some more. And now we have a slashing penalty against Sweden.
Unbelievable, Alec, because you called it right. You had the action all over you. Great job there. But how does Brock Nelson not get any sort of cross-checking penalty or something on Sam Ersson? He tries to get his own rebound. He knew exactly what he was doing. He brushed him down intentionally.
Yeah, even as someone who is, even as an American, that should have been a
Yes.
cross-checking penalty against Brock Nelson. That bewildered me, the fact they just let that one go. I mean, that gets called 9 times out of 10.
Yes.
This is that one time where it's missed. The slashing call, I'm not sure what it was, but I thought for sure that could have been a clear goaltender interference or even a cross-checking penalty. Nelson knew what he was doing. He can't go over aggressive.
No, Filip Forsberg got caught for slashing Kyle Connor. I didn't see it myself. They did announce it, so that's what the official one is. It'll be a second power play for the United States. But you mentioned it just before with Kyle Connor. That was a silky backhanded move there. And he just smoked it wide, as you mentioned, near the left post. But that was the best bit of skill that I've seen from Kyle Connor throughout this tournament. Hopefully we can see more because he's exceptional with the Jets. And then you're absolutely right, Matt Boldy. No stick, no nothing in hand. He's just trying to kick that puck alive to the right side boards. And Christian Pulisic would indeed be happy with that.
I have to give it a little shout out. Knowing that World Cup is next year. You know, of course, there's a lot of discussion about next year. And I know for a fact that I do have a certain day circled on the calendar That's March 7th. That's the trade deadline. Another day, March 27th, opening night. And it should be a fun one when the Tigers come to town to play the Dodgers.
Oh, that's open. Oh man, I'm probably gonna have to join you for that one. That's opening night.
That's opening night.
Yeah. Regardless of the bloodbath that the Dodgers might put on the Tigers, at least Tarek Skubal is going to be on the mound.
And the only question that I have is if the Dodgers do what the Avalanche did with Jack Johnson during their Stanley Cup racing banner, and with the Dodgers and Jack Flaherty, if they invite him to watch the banner ceremony with the Dodgers.
You should go take care of all that stuff with them for about 5-10 minutes and then switch parties.
I think that should be the case.
Yes.
Because that was nice different by the Avalanche to invite Jack Johnson to watch the Stanley Cup banner racing ceremony with the Avalanche 2 seasons ago.
All right, so Alec, you just gave me the announcement there. I'm going to do a soft pencil and date on there for that Thursday night. So we'll be locked in there for Tigers and Dodgers in the opening side.
There you have it. It is right there with us. And the off this face up as Mike Sullivan is getting the interview. You know, it's coach versus captain. The captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins against the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins for the championship game. You know how a storyline can be written up. Well, here it can be. Who is going to be the victor here between captain and coach? Jack Eichel, far corner. With USA on the power play, right point as the turnaround pass from Werenski to Eichel. Eichel in front, and that missed everything. As this goes back all the way to the Stars and Stripes zone with Adrian leaving this for Werenski. 8:38 to go, second period. The Americans on the power play. Lofted up, down for the distance. Gensel trying to go back. Werenski batted up into the air several times. Gensel onto the far half towards on this whip around pass to Eichel. Eichel, tic-tac-toe passing around. He controls it at the far corner. Eichel, softly over towards the point for Jack Hughes. Now back for Eichel. Eichel fires this one and stopped by Ersson. Now Hughes looks towards the point. Hughes now looks at the net. Goes towards the point. Werenski, one-timer. Rebound is swept away as Ersson makes the initial shot. The save. And here's Hughes. Hughes goes towards the near corner. Werenski holding it. Eichel playing on his offside in the power play. Eichel, traditionally he plays at the left circle. Here he's playing at the right circle because of the absence of Matthews. Eichel dispossessed. Hughes will go back all the way across for Werenski as the Americans hold it. Going down low. And this is back over to Jack Hughes. Eichel one-timer. And there's how a timer that is typically seen from him from Ovechkin's office. That's stop.
So I know you said this, Alec, and you did it exactly right as far as Sweden trying to stay in that box and keep things in tight there for Ersson. You got Kreider there at the net front presence. But again, neither Tkachuk, no Matthews. We do expect Zach Werenski to kind of be the mainstay for the power play quarterback to get it in the zone. But I do think the United States power play, even if they don't score both of these times, they look pretty good as far as the puck possession.
Yeah, so far so good. You want to control the puck for as much as possible and get prepared for Thursday. I know that the spirit is on the line to your country that you're playing for. Sweden is trying to get 5 to 3 points, but whatever they do is not going to matter because they do not have tiebreaker over Canada. This is shot right towards the net as Ersson made the stop. And a good job by Sweden to kill off this penalty. And control is Matthias Ekholm. Dylan Larkin's ridden off the stick and taking this inside Nyquist. Nyquist shoved by Sanderson once. Nyquist don't control it to spiral to the far corner and grabbed away by USA. Larkin, the Waterford Township native. This clear is bluffed down by Sweden, but USA is back onto this. And a big shove by Swede on towards the benches. Anderson, the Calgary Flame here. Anderson fires this one around as Slavin blew a tire. Colorado native playing for the Hurricanes as Anderson holds the zone inside. Onto the far boards, Sweden whip around shot that's turned away by Adrian for the far corner. Held inside the right point. Tipped around for one-timer. And that's fired wide as well. On the hold is Erik Carlsson. Carlsson, one-timer. No, it's a big one-timer. It's Dahlin. And that was blocked out with Trocheck. Good job by Sweden to hold again. Dahlin will try again. Loose in front. Backhander. Stopped by auditors. Behind him now. Back over to the right circle. And it's held inside by Raymond. Raymond chips it around for the far boards. And the way was favored. to sweep it away. Swayman clears this one all the way down. And Sweden, they've looked like the dominant team at 5-on-5. They've been dominating USA at 5-on-5 in the second period. Favorite play, keep play, almost turned it over to Nylander. Nylander does a good job of holding his zone though. William Nylander, and Sweden's back onto the zone. Once again, Bratt to Nylander. Nylander, bottom of the right circle, side wing to net. Nylander sets up the far circle, and off of the far side, the shot blocked out of play. Canceled out by Ottinger, and we'll take a stop for 5:37.
Well, you are seeing one thing in this in particular with all the forwards out for the United States. That one almost hit Slavin right in the head as he was falling down as we go to break. But puck has been kept on the outside beautifully at times for both. But you're right. Willie Nylander never gives up on the play 2 times. The second time forces the steal. Jake Ottinger, good save and tight toward the right side dot. And Sweden looks pretty good. I know it's been tic-tac on both sides. We'll see if that continues, but this game has been pretty intriguing.
It could be up for debate about biggest playoff performer on the Toronto Maple Leafs. William Nylander certainly has an argument, and here he's showing his work. He is arguably their best playoff performer over the last few postseasons, and he's showcasing why he never gives up on plays. This is not slander towards Austin Matthews. Matthews did have his bright moments. Game 4 against Tampa Bay in 2023 comes to mind, where he initiated that comeback with 2 goals of his own. One on a shot and another on a deflection right in front. But Nylander, of course, he is the highlight right now for Sweden and the last shift. Endless time in the offense zone. At one point, I thought that Sweden had a sustained offense zone time of at least 1 minute.
They did. And Alec, I completely agree with you on that sentiment there for Nylander, because when you look at his game, you're able to cover both sides of the ice, as a lot of the players usually do. He's got an insane amount of skill, but it doesn't matter how bright the lights get for Willie Nylander. He always plays the same way. He never gets caught in any sort of feelings. He knows about trying to score the puck and move it the other way. He is always a top performer to me.
And he's not using migraines as an excuse for that.
No, he never uses migraines for anything. You saw some of the quotes in between Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews a couple of years ago, the famous one on the side of the bench. He goes, "Quit crying. All you guys do is complain. Let's go out there and play." And when you got guys like that saying that to Marner and Matthews, I mean, that kind of tells you the type of player that Nylander is.
He brings intensity onto the ice. He brings that competitive spirit. He's the type of player that you would want for a playoff team. Of course, any player would want.
I'll say this too. Again, we talk about a little bit between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. That was probably the other thing with JT Miller, because he's very fiery and passionate. He can burn you the wrong way because he burns hot, but I want to have those type of players on my team rather than not, Alec, to be honest.
Of course. Yeah, I would have a player that has fiery passion and love for the game. Even if he's not the top point producer for my team, someone who can check hard, skate hard, and can generate turnovers is vital to a team. Bodie had the shot that was turned away. Here's at the wraparound. That plane was closed up. Backward had been left at the point. Now over to Matt Bodie after that cross point pass. Bodie driving far side. Bodie backhands around and going towards the puck. Is adamant to bring it back. Behind the net, Bodie as it's deflected up at the part of the right circle. One timer in front. That was blocked. And behind the net, Sweden will start up with this. Adam Fox in the middle of that. As this goes to Sweden, they'll dump this down and they'll make their own set of line changes. Archer gets this out quickly so as to not get caught in a takeaway. Tony Granado getting interviewed at the NHL and TNT studio in Atlanta, while Kenny Albert and company, they're over in Boston covering in this game. Got to get the props to both sides. I don't expect that the NHL and ESPN crew will be over at Boston for the Four Nations Championship game, as we have a stoppage. Get the panel involved, get their takes on it. Steve Levy, Mark Messi, and PK Subban.
Yeah, you're going to have to do so, because I'm looking at it now on Thursday, and that's where we will be. And as far as ESPN coverage, little about 8:10 Eastern on the side for you and I both, and whoever else joins in. I know Ian will probably be in here as well, but that's going to be changed. I do think Bob Wischusen probably should get the frontline call.
He's built for moments like these. His goals during these first two games in which ESPN was televising it. Those were memorable, especially the Finland overtime winner. Kreider finding Jack Eichel, wanted to go back to Kreider, but that was a good poke away by Sweden. 4:10 to go in the second period. Sweden pokes away and attempts to pass from Werenski, and Sanderson have scored a hit from Forsberg. Sweden able to hold. Over to the near corner, they send this around. Nobody there except Werenski for the Stars and Stripes. Jack Eichel leads the way over the near side as that was decked away by Sweden. Eriksson dumps this one up, and Lucas Raymond in pursuit this puck. He grabs it. Raymond poked away once, but gets it to the point for Anderson. Now the left wing, Eichel fires this one down, the rebound in front, and a swipe on it. So it's loose. Raymond trying to pick this one up. He goes over to Eichel. Matthias Eichel cross point for Anderson, and then down low to the near corner. Raymond still out there. Raymond rounding around for the near side, pass in front, did not make it there. USA able to scoop this one up and fire this one down the distance, and they'll make their changes. Not enough for an icing, as this was just shy of it, as it was waved off. Ekholm restarting, 3:10. Both teams already made their home field changes. Jake Gensel on the ice. You wonder how Lightning fans feel like they scored twice in the win over Canada for USA. Darlene away from Hughes. Up for the near side, moved up for Kempe, and then down over the lane. Sweden comes back with this, and a shot is stopped by Oettinger. Moving to far corner. Nylander holding the zone, and out for the near half force across ice speed for Darlene. Tic-tac-toe they go. Gensel forces Darlene to make an error, and Darlene falls down right in front of Gensel. Chopped around once, twice, and it was Darlene who fell onto his own. 2-on-1 didn't materialize. And it's Hedman away from Gensel again. Jesper Bratt, buoyed by Jack Hughes as Larkin was also pursuing the puck. Go to the far side. And lofting this one is Leo Carlsson in his Sweden debut. 19 years old, the sophomore for the Anaheim Ducks, as he's leading the next generation of Anaheim Ducks. Far side, entering is Adrian on a 4-on-3. Adrian backhands around onto the far corner. Bodie also there, so is Darlene. Forsman, relentless with the puck. For the far side, Sweden moves up for the ice as Lindholm gets it to Carlsson. Eric Carlsson stands up front, and that fire wide. 1:53 left. Larkin, coast to coast with speed, 3-on-2. Nelson, one-timer across. Stopped by Ersson, is over to the far corner. Bodie. And Nelson's getting hounded around by Arvidsson. When the Americans went down, Sweden picks up the puck. 1:35 left in the second. Up for the middle. Pass the blue lines. This is chipped on in. And zicked away by Sanderson. USA will restart this up. Werenski. Controlling his backhand around Eriksson. Werenski takes it himself. Kicked out by Ersson. Swept away. Sweden tried to move it up as it's kicked around by Forsberg, but can't be held up by Eriksson. And we have a whistle here with 1:16.
Man, oh man, there was some action there on both sides. Werenski tries to do it all himself in the last time, but an accentuated one-timer for the United States off the rush as Larkin leaves the drop pass. I think that's what gave Ersson enough time. He already knew the slap shot was coming. And near the left side dot, good save there. Ersson's been pretty good in this game, Alec.
He's been having a nice year in the second period for Team Sweden. And the Flyers would love to have that back over for them because goaltending would need a boost. They have to deliver that same energy for the Flyers. But he's no slouch. He's on a hot run entering Team Sweden as the emergency replacement in the absence of Jacob Markstrom. USA try to tie it up. They have 65 seconds. It's bounced up, and off for Sweden's end is collected at the far half boards. Moved up for the ice as we're in the final minute. Andres out of his crease to play. For the far corner, Sweden holds it. They're chopping at this puck, and they grab possession once again. At center point, down right point, Darlene fires it, and it's wide the net. Carlsson trying to hold this one in, could not, but it's a race for the puck. What is making for icing? Yes, it will. Darlene will touch up with 41.8.
Yeah, it's pretty good, as you mentioned there, alongside for Ersson, as young as he is, be able to get some starts. You got Rasmus Dahlin. Again, I know I see some of these players that say, hey, you're only on the third or fourth line. How many minutes are you going to get? Hell, if you're on the third or fourth line of any of these teams, that probably means you're pretty good. And that's definitely a big time to be able to show out, score some goals, and get some points.
Hey guys, I'm going to put a post in the Jumbotron. It's from a New York Rangers fan asking if they can trade for a specific player. You're not going to believe which video they're showing.
We're going to look at that in the intermission.
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll look at that in the intermission, but right afterwards, we're just going to have to, and for the far forwards in Sweden, going to run out the rest of the clock. And I wouldn't mind them if they did. Well, no, they're actually going to get one last rush. If they can score here, they wonder, can't set up anyone in front, and there's not going to be enough time to set up a chance in front as is grabbed by Jack Hughes to end the second period. No scoring in the middle frame, but Sweden goes on to a 2-1 lead. They have not won the Four Nations face-off, and they're the only team to have not won here. Would it do wonders if they could get a victory here?
I think so, Alec, and at least I'll say this. I mean, you might not have had any goals called in that second, but you certainly had a lot more action, maybe even more than I did, even with the 3 goals called in the mix, because it was back and forth. I thought Ersson made some good saves. Jake Ottinger had a brush in the corner, a lot of traffic in front of the net, tips that just missed. Good action on both of these games right now, but I will say this. As far as the U.S., I think you can tell that being 3 forwards down and having some of their defense their power plays look pretty good as far as moving around and getting some shots. But the skill in connecting some of those passes off the rush, I don't think it's been as clean as it's needed to be.
Yeah, as it needs to be. I think it's all good for the USA. Even in a game where this one they don't have to win, but certainly they want to not lose their spirit because their main focus is on Thursday. They're playing like they still want to be here, and USA is showing exactly that. I don't know what the talk is Ian, but this one Rangers fan saying that if we can please trade for Brady Tkachuk, well, that would be a dream for the Rangers if they could get someone like him.
I replied under that post already. Just take a look at what I said, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree that's how the conversation would go.
I don't even think anybody's going to pick up the phone. I'm going to look at it now. Exactly.
Yeah. They didn't even get to finish his entire last name before Ottawa hangs up the phone.
All right. What do you want for Brady?
No.
Exactly.
Click.
There's not a chance on earth. I know that they were making some of the conversations about, and again, I'm not bringing up any political stuff, but how it is. You're going to move around and pick up to the New York Rangers. The Ottawa Senators are not letting him go anywhere.
No, he's their captain. For what reason would you trade your most important player on team?
No, he's too good. He's too well-rounded. He does everything that you needed him to do. And it really is, again, as Alec and I talked about it, he mentioned it as well, it really is up to the Ottawa Senators now to just make the playoffs. There really isn't any excuse anymore. And Brady Tkachuk is good enough to actually lead a team to playoffs and maybe even greater heights.
Yeah, you pretty exactly that, like his brother Matthew did in Florida. And now it's up to Brady to follow that up, but he's doing a good job at that. With a boost of goaltending with the added play of Jake Sanderson at the top defensive pair for Ottawa. People talk about Thomas Chabot if he's going to be the captain for the Ottawa Senators. I think looking back at it now, I think Ottawa made the right choice by naming Brady Tkachuk team captain.
I agree. I think you've seen everything you wanted to see, and that was solidified already from what we saw at Four Nations, gentlemen. So I think we're in complete agreement. The one thing I will say, I haven't had a chance to follow the Ottawa Senators as much as I have over the last couple of years and this and that, but the scouting report that we've seen on Jake Sanderson today, Alec, is shoot the puck, because every time he gets it, he's just letting it fly. There isn't a shot that he doesn't like.
Yeah, so far he likes every shot, and he's emerged as a top defenseman on the Senators, and he's earned that. He's earned every right to be their number one defenseman. A two-way defensive player who can shoot the puck and defend his own zone. That's what you like to see.
And that's what we're going to continue to see, and that's what we're going to have to hope to see in this game if the United States wants to keep their perfect record going. Whether or not it's OT or winning it, or even if they don't, again, everything's already been decided. Canada is going to be moving on in the championship alongside the United States. But at least for the U.S., I think you look at it and you say, hey, I know what this game might or might not mean, but you still want to run through all four nations. You want to run the gauntlet. And look, you got all those fights out of the way on Saturday, as I mentioned earlier. You can go ahead and Thursday, drop the puck in Boston. You know there's going to be some tumultuousness, some energy at the beginning. That one's going to be electric. We're going to have a long time, essentially, from Monday to Thursday. It's going to feel like an eternity, but we're going to be ready to go and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we will have a lot of fun with the lead up and everything that's being talked about. What is going to be around? What the difference is going to be as opposed to the game in Montreal to the game in Boston.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, and this is just me talking out loud, because I'll say this honestly, I don't feel like the U.S. would feel pressure no matter where they are on the ice. I think they're going to play their game. But part of me wonders if the Canadians are happy to be away from the Bell Center to be able to play on the road and maybe kind of walk into their game and feel like playing the villain. Maybe they'll relish that on Thursday.
Yeah. The USA is not afraid of being the bad boys of the tournament. We've seen USA be playing the villain role over the past few years, and they've relished it playing the villain role. In the 2024 World Juniors, they played the villain role, and it's worked out fine for them.
Yeah, they definitely like that. I think Canada, I don't know how much pressure that they're going to feel. I know they're going to want to get that rematch there with the United States. Definitely still think they can do so. Kel McCarr is going to be enough of a difference. My only question to you, again, I didn't get a chance to watch the game today for Canada and Finland, but Jordan Binnington, again, technically, ended up getting the win today. Any thought whatsoever to go to any backups there? Or are you going to think Jordan Binnington's going to get the start no matter what on Thursday?
I think he will get the start. And while he played well enough to get himself a starting job, the task here for Binnington is to not get to moments where he single-handedly loses Canada the game, but not to steal the show for Canada. That's what he did. He didn't steal the show, but he did enough not to lose the game for Canada. That third period was a little scary when he allowed those 3 goals and the later half of the third period. But he did do enough, and I'll give him his props.
Here's the thing about Jordan Binnington, right? Here's the thing. Today was a stark contrast to when the U.S. played when Canada played the U.S. When Canada played the U.S., a lot of people were putting the blame on Jordan Binnington for not, for allowing 2 or 3 goals. Here's the thing, but Blues fans, we all pointed out the real problem. In that game, Canada's offense only scored 1 goal.
Yes.
So, yeah, Jordan Binnington can stand on his head all night long as much as he wants. Here's the issue. Canada's offense has to figure out how to get past Connor Hallam. And they did once, but they couldn't do it again.
Once?
And
go ahead.
I don't think Canada is going to be able to get past Hallam. Not enough to win. They'll score 1, maybe 2, but I don't see it because I think we can all agree. Hellebuck is playing. I think. Who did we compare him to? John.
I mean, you could.
Alec. I thought we compared him to like some of the old goalies, like 90s and early 2000s types. The way he's playing.
You could say Martin Brodeur. You could say Dominic Hasek. That's the level of domination Hellebuck has had. Those were the names I was thinking of.
They just showed his numbers right as you were talking, Ian, in the mix of it. So, again, he's got the 2 wins in the tournament. He's got a .957 save percentage right now.
Dominic Hasek type domination for a playoff run. That almost feels unreal. Only averaging just 1 goal per game for the tournament, and he's not even playing tonight. Jake Ottinger has only allowed 2 goals in this game, but he's holding up his own very nicely. Hallam, on the other hand, he's making opponents feel like we're just there to just fight every shot they had at him, and Canada's doing the same thing, firing everything they've got at him, and then coming out the end of it, and then just shrugging and saying, "We just got Hallam."
Yeah. And I want to ask you one other thing to jump in on Ian's point, Alec. Do you think that Canada can win on Thursday if they only score 1 goal?
No.
I
think USA, if Canada scores only 1 goal, I think USA would score at least 2 goals from how I see things. I think it's maybe a regulation win if Canada's limited just 1 goal again for that game. But if Canada scores only 1 goal, they're not winning on Thursday.
We're all in complete agreement then. I'm gonna say 3-2. I will give Canada an extra goal there, but if it ends up the same way, I don't think Connor Hellebuyck's giving up more than 2, as Ian mentioned. They can't win with only 1. I don't see any stretch of the universe where the U.S. gets shut out.
Which means that he has a case for being USA's team MVP leading up to this point. Saying that Kachuk would have made a lot of sense, but I think you could give a legitimate case for Hellebuyck being team MVP.
If Connor Hellebuyck goes 3 games in a row where he gives up 1 or less, Alec, you have my vote. Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Canada, on the other hand, if we're all talking about Crosby being the team points leader in this tournament, team MVP could be a different conversation in this regard. Crosby, of course, has the most points, but of course you wonder what of the top 10 players showing up for this tournament. And so far, we're seeing Dave McKinnon and Connor McDavid showing their work in this tournament. Those 2, I think, are the 2 front runners for team MVP of Canada.
I agree. I think if Nathan McKinnon has another game on Thursday where he scores a couple more goals, he probably will get it. He's neck and neck right now with Connor McDavid. The only thing I'll say, the last thing about Jordan Binnington, the only bad goal that he gave up on Saturday, and again, I know you were with there as Alec was calling it, was the 5-hole one against Jake Getzel. That Dylan Larkin shot in off the rush was just a perfect shot. I don't think he's saving that.
He's not saving that shot from Dylan Larkin. That was off the rush, because when you have rush chances like that, that's going to cause confusion between goaltenders. The Getzel goal that he allowed out, that was one that he certainly would have loved to have back, because that's not usually one that goaltenders would give up.
No.
Unless if the shooter would pick the perfect corner at the shot. But even so, that's the type of goal that goalies would love to stop.
Yeah, the only other one was one he wasn't even in the goal crease for. So, again, I won't blame Binnington for any of the stuff on Saturday. Again, I agree with you on the side of today might have been a little scary at the end, but you know who was happy, at least after today? Dallas Stars with Mikkel Granlund. My goodness.
Yeah, and even so with Dallas Stars, it's good that Granlund is showing out this tournament. Overtime winner in Sweden, and then you got 2 goals against Canada. If this is the Granlund they're getting for the rest of the season, that's a huge win for the Dallas Stars. And it's shocking to me, if speaking of the Dallas Stars, that the USA is 2-0-0, and Jason Robertson's not even on the roster.
No, yeah, you're right. No Robo, no Tage Thompson, and those would have been names I thought that would have been locks.
Yeah, in Thompson's case, his defense needs to improve a little
Sure.
more, and his face-off percentages needs to improve too. But I think Robertson for sure was going to be a lock.
Yeah, he's got that all-around game, and he's really, honestly, Alec, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but isn't he scoring like a demon alongside this year as well? I mean, he's playing very well.
Yeah, ever since he was snubbed off the 4 Nations face-off roster, he was on a tear ever since. He wanted to make his statement, hey, you should have put me in the 4 Nations face-off roster.
Yeah, and that's good there because you have also a mix of a lot of the young kids there. You got Jake Ottinger as well. Dallas is a very good team. So we're imagining that Kel McCarr is playing on Thursday. I don't see any way that he's out. But does that mean that Thomas Harley's still going to replace Theodore?
Well, if in any any case, I would still think that Travis Sanheim would be a slotting into the spot at the left point that Shea Theodore initially occupied.
Okay.
That's how I foresee things going. Sanheim more for a defensive presence. But if you want offense in this game, you go with Thomas Harley.
So it'd be interesting to watch. I just wanted to get your thoughts because it was either or. Because when you had both of them out, you could be able to bring in Harley. But Kel McCarr, he's going to go back on the top line. And Canada's power play is just going to get that much more vaunted. They're going to be so much more dangerous with Kel McCarr. Again, the United States, a lot of guys out there. Matthew Tkachuk, he ran into the post in the first, or Brady Tkachuk, excuse me, ran into the post. Matthew was already out. Austin Matthews is out. They go ahead and scratch there for McAvoy. So some players not playing. The United States is going to roll with the extra defenseman today. They're only down 2-1. I think both goaltenders are showing out well, but you're not going to hear any complaints from me if Sam Ersson ends up getting this win or getting the victory because he's been really good, 20 out of 21 today.
And this is his best showcasing so far, Sam Ersson. It'll be, we have to wonder what the status will be for Brady Tkachuk come the championship game. I know he's not going to be here for the rest of this game, but we're going to have to wait for official word. If he's good to go, I think USA's in good hands.
I would think so too. I think it would give you enough for Monday and Thursday to be able to heal up. And I'm not going to say shoot them up with whatever they need to not have pain, because if he really is in that kind of pain, he's way too important for the Ottawa Senators to mess around with. But who knows what they'll do in the mix for the U.S. Again, Matthew Tkachuk, we figure he's going to be back in there, and they could go ahead and sub in another defenseman if they need to. But I will say, if Brady or Matthew or Austin Matthews is out, it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or all three of them, U.S. definitely takes a hit, because I will say this for Matthews, his defensive game in this tournament has been excellent. I know he hasn't showcased as much of the offense, but he really shows you he's a two-way forward.
He is an underrated one as well. There was a reason he was in self-key trophy consideration, and that he was getting some down ballot votes for it as well. Austin Matthews, for as great as he is offensively and one of the best pure snipers in the game, don't count out his elite defensive play at times.
There's not many guys in the league that could score about 70 goals and still play that way defensively. And yes, I said almost 70 because that's what he had. The one thing that stands out for me in this game, I just want to mention it quickly. Again, the shots, 21-17, hits 14-12, faceoffs 18-11, all in favor of the Stars and Stripes. This one is going to be an anomaly. It's not in this game, and it's credit to Sweden because I do think that they forced some turnovers. But the United States have a staggering amount of giveaways, 16 in this game.
I know this is going to be an aberration, and not really because of the lack of players, but because that not entirely because of the lack of players, but because that USA, they know they have their sights set on Thursday. They don't need to win this one, but they're still wanting to bring their A game. And while it's not exactly their A game, the 16 giveaways can take away from that, from the A grade on this. It's more of a B type of game. It's more of their B game and not their A game.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. There's things to be cleaned up here. We're going to get set for the third. Alec, do you want to take the first half, or do you want me to take it?
No. I'll open this one up here on the third period. Is
Okay.
that fine with you?
That's fine.
All right. And here we go. Third period. Sweden up 2-1. USA leads Shot Force 21-17. 16 giveaways in this game. TD Gardas, the series shifted to you. The United States. Here's Jack Eichel. Goes again. He fires off the floor. Rebound in front is blocked. So immediately, just like that, thunder and lightning, and basically in a bottle right afterwards. They fought the front of the lightning, but the Sweden bottled it all up. Gensel, Eichel, what the passing? He fired it because there was no passing lane. 4 times the USA has hit the post on their shot attempts. This is so close. And here is the re-entry from Adam Fox. Gensel goes around for the near boards, lands on the Fox. Fox backtracks and goes back over to the near corner. Say there's Gensel, who goes back for Fox. Left point, straightaway shot, hit a body. Eric Carlsson gets it away. Southway gets over to the near corner. Fox goes down. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a penalty against Fox himself.
He got busted for a cross-check. That was clear as day as we get the chorus of boos from the U.S. fans, but you're not going to get any argument from me. Good pass out there for Boldy and the mix for Kachuk. And again, or Eichel, excuse me, and that one hits the post at the top of the bar. The fourth one, as you mentioned, then tried to jam at a short side, and that is just against Lucas Raymond, and at least he's able to brace himself so I can take a breath.
And so good for him to keeping himself upright. But Adam Fox, that's not a good penalty to take.
No.
Of course, you want to keep your physical edge, but you should not get over the top. This is one of the keys I had for USA entering this Four Nations face-off. They're the most physical team, and they're showing exactly that. But you shouldn't be taking your physical game all the way to a 100 because that's usually going to be penalties.
And that's the number one bullet point, Alec. You nailed it on the head for Team USA. Take it away.
And so 100, and I'm basing this on a 1 to 10 scale. 100 means you're going to get penalized a lot. And then 1 to 10 scale. Sweden on the man advantage, trying to make it 3-1. Erik Carlsson, that pass hit an American skate, and this will go out to the Swedish zone. Jack Connor, or the Three Crowns, as it said in English. You're moving it up. That's Jesper Bratt. Patiently gets it over to us aside for Raymond. Raymond whacked away by Trocheck, and Trocheck will send this down the distance. Ersson backpedals, and you will leave this one out. Moving up with this, I believe this is Viktor Hedman. Yes, it is, as he'll drop it up over to the right side. Pettersson dishes this one out onto the right for Filip Forsberg. Held inside by Sweden and collected in here half force as USA wants to clear, but it's just held in. Pettersson on a sweep pass towards the right. That was overshot. And when Larkin sweeps this one around to the far side, and this is all the way down the distance. Waiting back is Ersson. Looking back, and Viktor Hedman wants to get around. He'll send this one up the ice. And it's Forsberg, as it was a punt off a stick. Jack Hughes also during that rush. Sweden able to hold it at that right point. Pettersson dropping this one over to the far corner. And a shove from Hanneman as his puck comes loose again. Pettersson goes to Hedman at the right point. Now back for Pettersson. Richter went wide and is held in by Sweden. Going to Hedman, left point. Hedman back for Pettersson. Pettersson in front. And Ottinger trying to gobble it up. And he does. There were several stick whacks in the front.
Yeah, he did so on a second effort. Again, JT Miller tried to get the puck out. Dylan Larkin tried to get the puck out. Couldn't do so. Again, it was 16 giveaways. Make it 18 now. As Viktor Hedman to EP 40 on the front, and then you had Forsberg there trying to knock away at it.
Yes, there is. Viktor Forsberg, for as much as he shoots from the bumper, here he is being utilized as a net from presence. We're Sweden and utilizing this top power play. And they get the second unit back onto the ice with 18 seconds left on the man advantage. USA wins it. They'll shoot this one down distance. USA has the best face-off team in right now out of any team, right? In the current score, even for Sweden's top end structure on the face-off dot. Far corner, Sweden trying to hold it. Power play expires. Bratt able to keep this one inside. Brock Nelson trying to whack this one away. No one-man rush here, but USA is going to enter 2-on-2. Faber delivers over to the right circle. Sweden able to cut off that pass. There's Faber on a deep shot that went wide, bouncing over, and again, as it looked like another post hit. Not sure from that angle. He could not see good from the far side. Actually, it is a post hit. That's the 5th time this has happened for USA. 5 times that they came oh so close to playing the back of the net. But once again, the post is the goaltender's best friend. And Marc-Andre Fleury to give that post a kiss. And there's a save by Ersson on the shot for the left circle. Arvidsson twisted and turned, bumped on the pass. And this is a 2-on-2. Exchange pass. Rasmus Dahlin fires it, stopped by Ottinger. Kept alive over to the far corner. Right behind the net, it is Nyquist. Eriksson holding this onto the puck. On the far corner is another save from Ottinger. Rebound swept in front. And a big glass. Ottinger got a piece. That's an air corner. Sweden holds it some more times, and it goes back for Dahlin, or rather Brody. Not to confuse the two. Good done. Slapper from Arvidsson deep. Went wide. The rebound backhanded. Not even close. Rasmus Ersson wanted to jump to the puck. Nyquist sends this one over to the right point. Held in by Arvidsson. Going towards the right circle. Anderson lights it up. boy, Auditor had to be breathing a sigh of relief and chasing after the puck, and Ersson absorbing Forsberg's hit around the net. Out inside by Raymond, but it goes back for the USA. They move this one up, and carrying this is Getzel. Jack Hughes chopped away by Sweden, and this will be picked up at center ice by Hanneman. Deflected onto the Four Nations logo. The Stars is trying to dump this one down the lane. At the far corner, Sweden looks to get this one out, but is held in by Jake Sanderson, I believe, or rather Hanneman. At the left point, this is a rolling puck. Sanderson right point, and stopped by Ersson as it goes towards the crowd.
Well, take a breath, my friend, as that was ridiculous, man. Jake Odger, all sorts of pressures. They show the U.S. at the outside post, but here we go. Rasmus Anderson unleashed the clapper. Viktor Arvidsson right there just trying to give himself some time as this one goes off the outside of the cage, and then it's rolling behind Jake Odger, but it's saved before it crosses the goal line.
That was the closest that Sweden was to making this 3-1. And I can't believe that USA has hit 6, if I'm counting this correctly, posts so far in this game. Grabbed by Sweden. No one-on-one chance as USA is looking to restart. In a money line showing minus 220 Sweden, USA plus 170. And there's a realistic chance that USA can score the tying goal here. Favored is possessed by Raymond. It's grabbed by Connor, though. Connor going to Larkin. Now Larkin bracing himself right on Hedman, who takes it away. Hedman still going after this puck like a hungry wolf. Moving over to Connor. Kyle Connor away from Joe Eriksson. Just erroneously costed this puck. And walking the blue line is Sweden. Eric pass, and it was be picked up by Brock Nelson, who drop it off to Connor. Connor on the right circle, fires this one, kicked out by Ersson. And on for the far corner, Nelson on the hold, intercepted by Hedman. Puck is picked up right behind the net, and Sweden playing keep away from Jack Eichel. This is Leo Carlsson with Eichel in pursuit. Carlsson picked up somewhat, but quickly USA able to retrieve it, and Carlsson gets his helmet, his bucket, got it wrapped up around him and loosen it up. Far side as Ersson stopped the long shot. Adams able to stick this one away. You remember, when you lose your helmet under the current rules, you have to pick your helmet back up or go to the bench. One timer. Good block by Sweden to force this one wide. I go in pursuit, but Sweden is able to get this one out. And an offside called. But boy, did Leo Carlsson get level.
Jack Eichel says hello to Leo Carlsson. Carlsson able to stay on his feet, but the helmet didn't stay on his head.
Oh, that's a little how do you do from Jack Eichel, who was a little upset after what happened at the offensive end, and he wanted to say, they give him a little how do you do. Welcome to the international play, kid.
Yeah, I like that. Jack Eichel has turned more into a two-way player than we've ever seen at all at Buffalo. He's really enjoyed his time in Vegas. Set it right home. He's got that the neck fusion that he needed to get everything repaired, and this is the best he's looked. Again, I won't try to beat this dead horse too much in this game, but now it's 20 giveaways to 9. The last few is Larkin tried to get it out, couldn't do so. I see some unforced giveaways, and I just hope, and I'm saying this out loud now because I don't think it's going to stretch into Thursday at all, but if it does, Canada would be licking their chops. Got to clean that up a little bit.
You have to. Got to clean this up if you want to stay ahead of your tracks in the Canada game, because if you don't clean up the giveaways here, and it doesn't matter if Matthews or Kachuk are missing this first period, or if Charlie McAvoy is missing this game, you got to take care of your giveaways here and have better control of this puck. Otherwise, it's going to be otherwise the end result is going to be ending with Canadians celebrating like it's 2010 all over again.
Yeah, I would think if you have any sort of game like that, at least half. I mean, 20 is too many, 10 is too many. So you'd have to at least cut that number big time. And again, you can talk about whatever you want as far as the forwards that are on, the defensemen that are playing, or Ottinger. I'm not blaming on Ottinger. I think he's been pretty good. And alongside with Sam Ersson, Ersson's been a bit better, but still, U.S. can play much better. We'll see if they find anything toward the back half of this third, because I still feel like they can tie it. But if they continue this giveaway parade, it's going to be Sweden's 3 points tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. If USA doesn't have better control of this puck, then Sweden's going to find it much easier to end this game with a regulation victory. One player of note that we're witnessing, Jesper Bratt, had that beautiful turnaround shot for the left circle that got Sweden the lead late in the first period. Projected goal rate at 6.47% from the area and style which he shot at. Low percent shot, but the distance to the goal line, 18 feet. But the way in which he shot it, that's a shot that usually doesn't go in. As we're back on the way here, Sweden is up 2-1. USA with the shot at 25-20. Was the 20 giveaways that have been held in the near quarter as the USA is trying to get this puck. Gensel, the Omaha native, goes to JT Miller. That shot went off of Ersson. And they glove this one down to keep this one at Sanderson. Rink wide pass. One time for Jack Hughes from deep. That hit Gustav Nyquist, and it comes back to Hughes. Hughes, that will poke loose by Anderson, and Anderson will loft this one out. And Sanderson gave Arvidsson a little nudge. USA is going to go back up with this. Sanderson moving this up for the far corners off the benches. Sweden tangled up. Oh, that was very curious. And I'm surprised that was not penalty. And now here's a shot that's out by Ersson. The rebound. That was taken care of as well. And now we have a high sticking penalty here as Jake Gensel is getting checked at.
I think there's got to be some sort of makeup call there alongside, because I thought Dylan Larkin, listen toward the center ice side, definitely got away with a trip. And right now, Erik Carlsson is going to get busted for a high stick, and that's unfortunate for Sweden, because I definitely think Dylan Larkin should be sitting in the box.
Yeah, it's unfortunate on Sweden's part, because even when we're rooting for the same team, John, I felt that there was a notion that Larkin should have gotten a penalty, and Sweden is a little upset about that no call. But that is a makeup call from the official. You nailed it. And it puts USA on the power play, sadly at Sweden's expense. But a chance here to tie it as Eichel with the draw as this goes back to Werenski. Werenski shoved by Kempe, and a battle at the near half boards. Emerging with this is Werenski. Werenski, left circle to Gensel, shot it, and Ersson held his own. Eichel keeping his puck alive at the near half boards. Eichel going around as Kempe, hard working at the near half boards, but USA able to scoop this one up. Werenski going back, left circle for Jack Hughes, and Hughes misplayed it. That allows Sweden to clear this one down. Sweden makes changes. Eichel brings it back over to the right place. He waits, looking for reinforcements. Goes down low, and then back up front. Eichel, you have forwards. Going back over to Werenski. Now back to Eichel. Eichel fires it, and that was off of Ersson. And here is an odd man rush, but USA is rushing back. Bratt over to the right side, back for Bratt. And he was slowed up on the play. No Arvidsson in the air. And very late to the 2-on-1 was Jack Hughes. And Sweden can kill off some more time. I don't know what Jack Hughes was doing. He was very late to the 2-on-1 the other way. That looked like a glorious chance for USA to tie this game up. Moving up is JT Miller. Now on for the near half boards. Kyle Cotter. It's taking the win before I turn this back over to John. Cotter keeping his play alive, and Bodie in the far half boards. On to Fox. Fox to Cotter. Cotter going over to the top of the left circle for Bodie. There might be bouncing someone in front. Is just held in by Fox at the deep left point. Anderson can clear this one down. Hit Bodie's stick and is chopped around once. USA has to exit for this is bounce out of USA. And here's JT Miller going back inside. Perfect breakup up front. And rushing to the puck to hold it is Cotter. Good hustle. Right on Raymond. Cotter fires this one. Loose stick whacks in front. And Sweden kills off the rest of the penalty. Take it away, John.
Well, there was a lot going on there, Alec, as it was start for another USA power play. And you could talk about between Larkin and Kreider, as we mentioned, two that should have been called, but then Sweden has to give up one on the other one, but they don't concede. Still 2-1. All of the goals have been from the first. Jesper Bratt set for the GWG as it's 9:35 left in the third. Joining with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji. Toward the right side corner, Ekholm will brush this one in deep. Now Rasmus Dahlin try to come to the hero right out in front. It's turned over again, and the United States try to press the other way. See what they got for Vinny Trocheck off the feather. Give for Hughes, and this one stopped. It's the first time I've been able to call his name in a while. Alec, I don't want to try to be mean when I say this, but I have to be honest and forthright. I feel like Jack Hughes has been invisible.
Jack Hughes, you had when I don't know if you said visible or invisible. But if he is visible, he's being visible for all the wrong reasons for Team USA. And a bad rush in which he was late to a potential 2-on-1 that could have tied this game up. And if I'm Jack Hughes, you gotta get those mental errors fixed.
Yeah, I think he's way too important. I understand how young he is. I know he's playing on the off wing. Again, he will be again when Austin Matthews returns on a Thursday side. But he could definitely play a lot better. And one of the guys, I don't want to sit and pick on him, but I'm just saying in between Matthew and Brady and everyone else that's out, Jack Hughes is a name that certainly deserves to be on this list near the top 6 line. He just got to have a much better game on Thursday.
Yeah, once Austin Matthews comes back, he'll potentially find that chemistry once again what he had earlier in the 2 games, in the 4 Nations face-off that he has with Matthews and Jake Gensel. I think in getting Matthews back, it's going to help Hughes a lot.
I would say so. Again, I'm looking at it right now between Sweden and the United States. It's 3 power plays across. I honestly think you could maybe erase 1.5 of those for Sweden and give at least maybe 1.5 or 2 there to Sweden on the other end for power plays. There's been a couple missed calls. How many penalties did you get on Saturday, Alec? Notwithstanding with the fighting, did you get any just major infractions?
So USA, outside the fighting, these 2 have been rather. When you look at the penalties called outside the fights, Sidney Crosby for hook and Jake Gensel for trip, but they were testing, and it shows that there's a lot going on. If you want tone setters, the Kachuk brothers are tone setters.
Okay, I appreciate that. I apologize. I had a couple phone calls there. I'm gonna get everything locked up here and then fix that later. If I get anything that interrupts me for a moment, hopefully the fiance will just take the hit for about 10 more minutes and then I'll be back on track. I just wanted to get your thoughts there as far as I'm glad you set it up because it seems like today's been a little bit too undisciplined. Again, I know Ian talked about that as well, that that's probably going to be the case in this game, but I don't want to say throw the entire thing in the fire because there's things that the U.S. have done well that I liked, especially with the Kreider goal early, but there are some habits that I don't want to see creep in on Thursday. I think the break will do everybody some wonders. As this will be recollected now off a couple of touch passes, and here we go. So the 5 post hits is officially still what they have. 29-20 on the shot board. Kreider has the only goal for the U.S., but you have that one for Jesper Bratt that was absolutely ridiculous off the turnaround shot. Again, a 7% chance of conversion, but that was all skill. As this now will be chipped in off the rush. Kreider now try to get his own puck and toward the right side boards as this one will get knocked away for a moment. Matt Boldy has gotten a lot of ice time, and that is good for the young Minnesota Wild man. As this one goes in the corner now for Adam Fox toward the right side dot. Here's an opportunity off the drop. One more touch. Rorensky. Good save, Ersson with a glove.
Oh, there he is again. That man has been on a rampage. Sam Ersson, he's stopping pucks once again. The one-timer all the way across as USA cycle around on this offensive zone time. JT Miller delivers one from the left point, and then this shot, it actually was going to go wide anyway. Rorensky, he was going to pick the top right corner. He sort of missed that one, but Ersson made sure that no further damage was done.
Yep, you got to do it right. And JT Miller now needs to win a big draw. He's out there with Jack Hughes, and Miller can't win this one. Miller's been getting a lot more time considering Austin Matthews and company are out. He hasn't won a ton of draws in this game from what I've seen, though. As this is back around now for Carlsson. We'll drop this one ahead in the United States. It'll be a hybrid ice block favorable. Touch it first.
That's what's going to help USA a bit if they want to come on, tie up. And not translate into anything because the number of giveaways and the number of post hits is what hounded USA in this game. If you can't fix those giveaways or those post hits, you gotta finish. You got to finish in this game. Make sure that you have the shots all right, but it's the finishing ability that has to matter.
So JT Miller now in the corner, loose. Ersson makes a piece of it with the left pad as Getzel was on the doorstep. This goes back around the inboards now as the United States get a chance to pick this one up. Big slap shot, Miller. Bounce in the corner, Faber. That one goes wide as this will be settled back down to the left side blue line. Picked up now for Getzel for the moment. This is Hughes. It gets away from his stick. Try to be held in at the line by Jake Sanderson, and that will be a touch pass. Opportunity here, Faber. Turn around. This one will be deflected. 7:20 left to go in the third. This here's a rolling puck. Goes back to Sanderson. Again, he's been a shoot-first mentality for Jake. As this will get the rest of the forwards take a change for Mike Sullivan's squad. 7:10 left to go here in this third off the half spin. As this will be picked back up. Now the United States will slowly see this cycle here for Faber. Got to be quick and off the half spin. Excellent work. As Faber will buy himself some space. We get a camera shot there. Jake Ottinger toward the right side. This will be chopped away. Willie Nylander forces the steal. That's another giveaway for the United States. That's continuing to add up. The shot board is 30-20, but it does not tell the whole story as Sweden's still up by 2-1. Now toward the right side boards. This will be knocked away from Kyle Connor and sent around deep here for Victor Hedman off the touch. Lurking for a steal, and this is going to be onside, and the wrister goes just wide. Kyle Connor was the one able to set it up alongside for Nelson. I didn't even think that was going to be onside, but it was stopped anyway. 6:15 left to go in the third as the United States now take a breath. Jack Eichel racing across the left wing. Eichel will spin toward the red line and loft it back to Fox. Take a D now. 6 minutes left to go in the third. Fox in through the traffic. This will be picked back up by him in the high slot. Lets it go again. Lively off the inboard. Sent toward the net, but Sweden is there. It's Victor Hedman's playing a lot of minutes down the stretch. Settled down by Connor and another giveaway off the backhand. You got Arvidsson on the off wing. This goes right to him. One-timer, and that one stopped by Ottinger as it will push the other way. This action's starting to pick up now. 5:35 as we get an offsides.
Yeah, someone was way offside, but I'm with you. I did not expect that it was going to be onside during that 2-on-1 rush for USA. Set up for Brock Nelson, who was the recipient of that pass up front from Kyle Connor. Just blockered away by Sam Ersson as he managed to get that one away. Nelson had the right idea going up front, but a clutch save to keep the 2-1 game and not a tie game for Sam Ersson and Sweden. As good as it can go around. And USA did an excellent job of blocking up a pass for one-timer intended for Viktor Arvidsson. That is also huge as well for USA to try to even this one up.
Hey, Alec, I'll be right back in 2 minutes before the break comes back. I just got to text the missus real quick.
All right, then. To recap this game so far, all the goals have came in the first period. USA is down Austin Matthews. They're down both Kachuk brothers and Charlie McAvoy as the Kachuk brothers are hurt. Matthews not playing in this game. Brady left this game. Austin Matthews, Charlie McAvoy, and Connor Hellebuck are all getting rest designations. Mika Zibanejad also getting a rest designation for Sweden. And it's a goal scoring. The first one from Chris Kreider, 35 seconds in. Zach Werenski and Jack Nyquist assists. Gustav Nyquist tied up 13:39 on a deflection as Jake Ottinger could not hold on to the puck. Kreider's goal came on a rebound. Eric Carlsson and Viktor Arvidsson the assist from Nyquist's goal. Jesper Bratt with one of the nastiest goals with the Four Nations faceoff as he won on a full whip around on a 9-degree angle. He fired his shot. The feed was from William Nylander. That's the only assist. They came with 56 seconds left in the first period. Sam Ersson has stopped 30 of 31 in this game. Jake Ottinger, he hasn't had to face a lot of shots as Ersson has had. 18-20, even though the same percentage might not show it, he has had himself a good game thus far.
Yes, he has. And this one's been a lot of fun to watch. It's been back and forth now over the last 5-10 minutes or so. Again, my apologies. I had to get through a few texts and everything else. We had a lot going on during the last 15 minutes or so, so I appreciate you gentlemen sticking with me. As Saturday is going to bring back the NHL side, I'm going to cover the late game between Vancouver and Vegas for that one. So I'll stay up late with you on that. But I'm more excited to grit my teeth here for Thursday alongside with Alec. I'm going to try my best to get Cooper in on this one. I don't want to guilt trip him, but it is going to be U.S. for a chance for a championship. So I think a trio broadcast would be fun if we can get it.
Oh, a trio broadcast would do a lot of wonders.
So Hughes will lose it now to Gustav Forsling. Forsling now will take the outstretched pass, as this will be picked up now for Connor Hellebuyck. Spin now for Sanderson to Brock Faber. Again, no Matthews, both Kachucks, Hellebuyck, and McAvoy. So it definitely looks a lot different. Jack Hughes can be one of those game breakers, and I think he needs to be. Jesper Bratt, as this one will be picked up from 200 feet. And now Mattias Ekholm, play it smart and send this one down. I think for Sweden, I know what it already says as far as the tournament, but getting a win over the Stars and Stripes would be huge, no matter which way you cut it. So look for them to play smart, dump it in. I think the United States probably get some chances here late. And then we'll see if we get to OT how many minutes we need, because keep in mind it is 10. As this will be sent back now here for defense. And USA can start again left to right again. In the blue jerseys in the mix of the red and white stripes, you have yellow on the side of the blue pants here for Sweden. About 4:30 left. We're watching this one in TD Garden in Boston on TNT. John here with you, alongside Alec Nava and I. Genji. Still a 2-1 lead. All of the goals have been from the first period. And I wouldn't have thought that to still be the case. Zacharinsky just lost the puck. And this one will get sent back down the ice again. This will be blown dead against Sweden.
Yeah, that was sent from behind the red line. So they called it an icing because it was not across the red line at the time it was dumped in. And of course, you had to clean up the giveaway game because right now USA has amassed 25 giveaways so far.
That is unreal, Alec. I mean, you could take the 3 games combined, and the United States might not even have double digits, and they have, maybe 6-7 times the amount they normally would. This is a great setup for Connor. Somehow he missed it. That was point blank right in off the face-off win. As this goes back now for Zacharinsky. That's one guy that the United States really wants to get going. Maybe they can do so on Thursday. Filip Forsberg now with a wrister. Fought off, gets his own rebound, gets tied up. Set up. Oh my goodness, Jake Andrew. 2 brilliant saves with the left pad. As this is picked up now and around the end boards. That was his stellar showcase of the game. Filip Forsberg now will curl and drag on a backhand. He'll fall down. Adam Fox trying to work him against the boards. Picked up by Hedman. Be shoveled deep into the corner. Filip Forsberg has it now toward the right side. Gets it back on his forehand. He's at a yeoman's-like shift. And sent back in behind the end boards here for U.S. Pick back down for Carlsson. Carlsson and Hedman are going to piggyback each other on defense now with 3:10 left to go in the third. This was JT Miller hunting for a steal. Sent back around the embankment for the United States as they're down to 3 minutes if they want to get a chance to tie this one. Picked up in the corner now for the former Vancouver Canuck turned Ranger again as Jake Getzel trying to get a piece of it with the stick. It's contested right near the blue line side. Bounced away from the U.S. Sweden might get some numbers here if they can pass it quickly. Nylander now on his forehand. Turn around to the right side. Willie Nylander. Still patient. He's got all sorts of players in his grill as the United States look to break out. It's Hughes. Pass across Getzel. Survey shoots. Ersson makes the easy save. The whistle was not blown, so they're going to let this go. He was holding on to it for a long time. That usually would be a face-off. Now to the center ice side. Who's tried to elude a hit there was Baldy. This one pushing the corner. 2:15 left to go in the third as Brock Nelson slow it down for his defense. Little outstretched pass will be an easy read for Victor Hedman. He'll be pushing the corner now. Try to give chases to U.S., but this will be Workley push the other way here and then go into the bench. But what a series of stops for Ottinger. Are you kidding?
I mean, he had his best saves in the last sequence. Stopped 2 quick shots in quick succession. How amazing was that? I mean, he slid over to the right side, turned away once, as Filip Forsberg shot it off the blocker. Forsberg chased after his own rebound, left it for his former Nashville teammate Viktor Arvidsson, who went between his legs on his stick to get that one off. Are you joking me, Arvidsson? And are you joking me, Oettinger?
That is absolutely sick on both ends. Again, I think the U.S. are going to use their TO here, Alec, to try to showcase some things. So maybe not. I thought we were getting a camera shot there of Oettinger. We're just going to get a neutral zone draw. Now Oettinger is going to vacate the goal crease. So the United States will indeed push for this, as this is kept into the right side blue line. Jack Eichel trying to get a retrieval here. Again, the United States don't need to win this game, but I'm glad that they're trying to press forward anyway. Here is Hughes. High slot now. Werenski, one more touch pass near the right dot. This is with Eichel. Sent toward the net. It's a funnel. And this will be picked up by Rasmus Andersson, but it's not out. Werenski, high slot. Now to Hughes near the right side. I'd like to see him shoot this. This one gets deflected. Hughes picks it up. And this one goes wide and out of play. 1:22 left.
More close calls. More close calls for USA with a stick that is loose onto the ice. JT Miller was setting up in front, and Jack Hughes at the right side looking for some open looks. There was a lane. He wanted to get the setup for Miller at the front of the net. The stick was out, though, and there was no lane to be found. Samuel Ersson held his own at the crease.
So I will give Jack Hughes credit for this. That second shot, I don't think it had any business hitting the net. Somehow found it through the seam. The first shot, honestly, was so open toward the right side. I thought that's the one that Jack Hughes was going to shoot, but he went for a slap pass.
Now we have the timeout. We initially thought that Mike Sullivan was going to use his timeout earlier, but now he is using his timeout now.
My question is this, and I'm not just saying this as a Red Wings fan, and you're right. When you think about the Team USA as far as everybody they can put on the dots, you might even want to consider putting Dylan Larkin here on the draw because he is really good at that, just to try to get puck possession. But then you would have to make a quick line change if you want to get some different offense out there.
You would wonder which six guys Mike Sullivan is sending out onto the ice. But I won't give you Dylan Larkin. I think that's a good thing to get up. Jack Eichel is another. If you're the face out being the right side, if it's at the left side, you go Larkin. You get Gensel, Bodie, Werenski, and if you want a net front presence, JT Miller. I think those are your ideal six guys for USA.
I'm with you, Alec. I think that makes sense to me. Again, Jack Eichel, we're talking about only two right-handed shots that the U.S. have. So Eichel's going to be in his post position there. And we're going to see who's going to go ahead and take this one. It's going to be Eichel. So he's going to have to try to win this one and then get oriented. This will be tied up. Back in behind Sweden's net, turnaround pass for Miller. This nutmegs everybody. Goes to Jack Eichel near the right side. Dot wrister, big save. Eichel tried to slap it out of the air. Now Sweden can throw this in the empty net. This one just, and I mean just wide, as it's an icing.
Well, USA dodged a bullet on the shot that went from 150 feet from Jesper Bratt. Dodged the bullet, but USA very close to tying it up. Of course, the ideal six guys that might not hit everybody, but Jack Eichel and Jake Gensel were both whacking at the puck. Eichel from the top of the right circle, Gensel from right at the net front. That's picking up Eichel's loose rebound. And Jack Hughes is back out onto the ice. A quick face-up win, a quick shot, maybe.
JT Miller gets it. Now the U.S. gets set up. They got 55 seconds left. They got to go quickly, but they got to get something good if they're going to beat Ersson. 1T out in front. This one taken away by JT. Goes in across the wall. Kept in a couple more times as Hughes finds it near the right side bumper. Hughes still with it. Here's a shot. Werenski. This one goes off the outside of the cage. U.S. whacking away at it. And Sweden's got an opportunity.
He was the one who scored the go-ahead goal late in the first period. But to not have this towards the net, as USA, they were checking right after the puck. As Bratt evaded one player. And it was not towards the net. He just hit the mesh. And as a result, Jake Oettinger has to come back.
So Jack Eichel can't win the draw. And Sweden, honestly, would do right to just send it back in their own zone and kill time. They're going to send this one down deep. So that will give the United States one more time to break out. Jake Oettinger will leave the goal crease. This is open near the right side. Down Miller looks for a deflection for Eichel. Down to 10 seconds. Toward the right side red line. U.S. down to 5 seconds. Got to shoot it. Flipped up into the air. Here's a battle for it now. Sweden's going to take a big 3 points. It was all goals in the first period. That shot was way after the whistle. They win 2-1 courtesy of Jesper Bratt. And while he might win player of the game, Alec, my player of the game is none other than Samuel Ersson. Take a bow, my friend.
31 saves in the victory for Sweden. Even though USA's already clinched a spot, Sweden finally tastes glory in the Four Nations face-off. I got to give it to him. For a goaltending performance like this, that's going to boost confidence for the rest of the season with the Flyers for Ersson. Jesper Bratt also take a bow. A nasty shot at the end of the first period that beat Oettinger. But Ersson was the biggest player as he was key in beating USA in the second game at TD Garden in the Four Nations face-off, the final one of the round-robin stage. We now move on to the championship game. I know USA, they took out some of their players for rest purposes, but I would anticipate everyone is going to be ready for Thursday. Buckle up.
Yeah, I don't think anything is going to change as far as the intrigue and the vitriol. Again, we just switched sites. That's all that is. We go from Canada down to Boston. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sorry, gentlemen, that I got to cut the post-game show a little short here, but I will see all of you back on Thursday. I'm going to try to get Cooper back in on the draw. If I can't, Alec, you and I are going to take this away. I'm so looking forward to Thursday, so you be well, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Let's go.
Oh, cannot wait. It's showtime.
It certainly will be. Just a couple more sleeps.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on? It sounds like you got your phone back.
Yep. I got it back Friday.
That's good.
But you can turn your camera on if you want.
Oh, I didn't know I was still calling you and then doing that too. All right, that's fine.
I got something to tell you.
What's that? Good news or bad news?
Well, it's bad news for me.
Oh, God.
Remember when we ate at that restaurant